Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, Forward and Back, RENNER.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. The beginning of a new season is a perfect time for a tune-up from my friends at Renner Garage Door. Need a new door? Get a free replacement quote today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and Back. Giddy up!
RENNER.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS on 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday, Wheels.
Hi, happy
Thanks
Friday.
for filling in for me yesterday. Appreciate it.
It's fun.
I had a terrible accident. I was, this is true. What I'm about to tell you really did happen. It's not why I missed yesterday. Just, took a day. I didn't know that you can't use mouthwash and blow your nose at the same time. I lived 60 years.
Oh, man.
60 years. And I was sitting on the toity, just to give you a full picture, and use my smart mouth. So I'm washing it around my mouth. And then my nose was kind of clogged. So I blew my nose, and it all came out.
Yeah.
Everything. Crazy. And I laughed. I laughed so hard. I was just by myself. There it goes. And I'm just laughing like, how did you not know that? How did you, even if you hadn't tried it before, how did you not read it somewhere? How did no radio person just tell you, which I'm doing a public service now on KMOX, that could happen?
I mean, it seems obvious, right? But I would never have thought about it before doing it unless you mentioned it.
Yeah. See, you're welcome.
You just have that moment where you're like, oh, yeah, this will be fine. And then you're like, why did I think that would be fine?
Well, I mean, I think you could have perhaps avoided it.
Oh, I could have avoided it.
Yes.
I was just trying to multitask.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
But right now, you can kind of exhale through your nose with your mouth shut and everything's fine.
It's different, though, when you're working it.
When you're gargling.
I mean, or when you're really working it to,
try it.
Clear the passageways.
Give me some smart mouth.
Just gargle whatever you got in your mouth.
Was it a lot of mouthwash?
My mouth was full.
Okay, so it was you look like a chipmunk.
You can do it?
Yeah.
You didn't
can
really
keep my
blow,
mouth
though.
shut as I exhale through my nose. Yes.
Hold on.
Exhale, yes.
How hard are you guys blowing your noses?
Depends on what's going on in there.
I don't know what happened the other time.
Yeah, you probably just had too much in there. Maybe you overloaded on the...
Yeah. Maybe I started laughing too early. Maybe I just sensed what could happen.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I have been using mouth rinse before and just been doing it for too long. And then you sneeze and then it's like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's tough.
Well, you know how I sneeze.
Violently.
That's how I'm going to die. I'll either choke, because I'm a choker, or I'm going to die in a car sneezing. Like I almost did the other day. I was driving home. It was when the sun was kind of right in the perfectly bad angle, when it just started getting a little lighter earlier. And so I already have the sun in my eyes, and I usually sneeze how many times?
3?
Yep.
3 in a row.
I sneezed 10
Whoa.
while driving. And it was the kind of thing where you open your eyes crazy wide just to get a brief glimpse of the traffic, and then you sneeze again, then it was nuts. Crazy.
Sorry that happened.
Hello, everyone on Facebook and YouTube. Christopher Yeager says, since you've been gone, is a jam. Just wait around, Chris. We've got some jams coming up for you. I tailored the music today.
Oh?
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
Not in a theme,
It's
just
all
like
Taylor Swift.
Tailored
just
the music.
jams.
I get you.
Can Wheels and Dave, can you guys name 5 Taylor Swift songs?
This is a great.
No.
I can't name one.
You can't name one?
I can name one. Because they used to play it in the hallways here all the time, and Ben Boyd and I, when he worked here, we would sing it to each other. Trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah, now that he said it, I know that one.
Yeah.
Not
After
even
that,
like,
no idea.
wow, that's crazy.
Like
It's
I don't
not
know.
crazy.
It's
Is it-
not crazy.
is one of
it's
them,
just-
It's a little crazy
is one of
because he's
them-
just on the radio. Like,
Can you name 5 Lennon Sisters songs?
no.
Well, it's
Ooh.
the same age difference. So,
Ooh.
the Lennon Sisters
well, I
from
wasn't
World War
thinking
II.
of age difference. It's more, it's just not your genre at
Yeah.
all. But
Is one of them named My Ex-Boyfriend's a Jerk?
Yes.
I mean, in so many ways, yes.
I believe that is
no idea.
I believe that is. She's got a few songs called that. It gets a little confusing.
Oh man, who do I need to go off on about this ridiculously, humiliatingly liar, pants on fire crap about shutting down that park? Who
The restoration?
is it? Tashara Jones? Is it one of her minions? Who do I need to call a liar to their GD face? Here's what happened.
Didn't you like the restorations?
Here's what happened. So downtown, we have quote unquote parks, which are basically just empty city blocks, sometimes with a statue in the middle.
Right.
And homeless people like to congregate there. And there was one right across from us and right across from City Hall, because
Yep.
there were 2 blocks as the crow flies from City Hall. And Kamala Harris was coming for a visit. And they didn't want homeless people right across from City Hall where she was likely to visit.
Or on the City Hall grounds because they were there too.
Yeah, there were tents
Like right
there.
next to, right
So
next there.
Kamala's coming into town. The tent people are kicked out. The homeless people are kicked out. They just go 3 blocks away
Yep.
where they can hide them. And they said it was for restoration.
Yeah.
And it's been like that. Homeless people moved. They're closer to the hockey rink now.
Yep.
And now that Tashara lost and Kara's taking over, suddenly it's open again. Come on back, homeless people. And they said it's because they were rehabbing the grass, and
The
now the
grass?
grass is rehabbed. Now, I don't live here 24/7, okay? In fairness, they could be working at 3 a.m. But I can tell you this, I've been here every weekday since, and I've never seen a single person doing a single thing to that grass. You are liars.
18 months, by the way. It's like a year and a half. Does it take a year and a half to get grass
Your
to grow?
True Green guys could have done that
Dude,
in a month.
just give them a call, man.
Maybe they were just giving the grass a little rest, you know?
Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean, you could
you
plant
gotta let it
all
aerate.
new grass.
They were aerating.
Yeah, you could plant all new, like for example, I know that you don't have the quality groundskeeping here in the city that you would at, say, Busch Stadium, but they can remove all the grass for a concert
It's not
and then put in new grass. And guess what? A few days later, they're playing baseball on
It's
it.
not the lying that bothers me. You're politicians. You can't help it. It's in your DNA. You are liars. It's how stupid you think we are. We
Yeah.
are not that stupid.
Yeah, like we just wouldn't notice.
Yeah. Oh, it's a grass rehab.
Well,
I guess they're just going to go park to
It's-
park.
It's grass.
Thank you,
rehab.
Mrs. Mayor. It
And by
really
the
does
way,
look beautiful now.
Can't believe you lost the election with all the grass
You
rehab.
did 5 months of grass rehab during the winter when grass is dead and dormant.
Jeez.
It's not really dead, it's dormant. But you know what I mean?
I'm with you though, Dave. That's what made me so mad about the pedestrian traffic incidents comment. And then it's like, oh, I
Right.
meant cyclists.
I meant cycle.
It's like,
you know what
okay,
that was?
so-
She thought pedestrian meant cyclist.
I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what
you're
was
pedaling.
going on,
That's what it is.
but the excuse was
That's what
like,
she thought.
you think that I'm stupid. You
Yeah.
think that your excuse is good enough because you think that I am not all there,
Yep.
basically.
Yep.
It's frustrating.
But hey, the grass is restored.
Yeah,
What?
at
It
least that
looks
grass is beautiful.
wonderful.
I didn't even look at it. Is it good? We should go look.
It's no different.
I'm gonna
There's
go
not
look.
one blade of difference.
Was that for the park and for the city hall grounds, or just one or the other? Because they
Yeah.
both had the fence around them.
Not sure.
I wonder if that
Well,
really
it better not be
fooled-
patchy. It better look like the fairway at Augusta.
I wonder if when Kamala came in, she literally was fooled by there being a
Zero chance.
big fence around City Hall.
Yeah.
It's like,
What's
boy,
this
this-
for? Grass rehab.
This
Yeah.
seems like a great city.
We got restoration going on. You don't need to be worried about such things.
Really invested in this one little patch of grass. And in spite of you coming to visit, we had to put these ugly fences up.
See this one tree in front of City Hall. We're really concerned about this one.
It's
pine
our
tree.
commitment to grass. Speaking of the city, what do you guys think of this proposed law to allow people, non-criminals, to carry guns on the transit and the Metrolink. And the thinking is this: the people who are pushing it are saying there are already guns on Metrolink. They're called criminals, and they use them to intimidate, bully, and rob people. So good, God-fearing, non-criminal people can't have a concealed weapon to protect themselves. So we're going to change that. And the opponents say more guns equals more violence, more accidents, more fights that lead to shootings. What do you guys say?
It's tough to know like what the right answer is. I heard someone in Jefferson City arguing for this. I apologize. I don't remember their name, but I did hear them right here on KMOX News. And they were saying that people who ride the Metrolink, whether out of necessity or just out of choice, better for the environment, what have you, they have the same right to protect themselves as people who drive a car.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty decent
Pretty
argument.
good argument.
I'm also not someone who looks at guns as evil, though. There are plenty of people out there who just think guns equal bad. So I get why that means you don't want them in any space ever. So it's hard to find a balance there.
It's a good analysis.
So you can have the gun when you're walking around the street,
Yes.
right? Like that's legal.
Yes.
Can have it in your car.
You can have it in your car.
Can have it on a scooter.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time differentiating between being able to walk down the street, where again there are other people. There are people that it's just like on a train. I know you're in a confined space in a train, but I don't think the people that we're talking about are the ones that are going to just be pulling their guns out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if they're doing that, it would be in response. Now, you could argue that maybe things would escalate that shouldn't, right? You got somebody who's mentally distressed, who, you know, homeless person gets on there and they're just being crazy, but not really dangerous. And somebody comes up and just shoots them because they panic.
Could see that happening.
I think that those are things that can definitely happen. But I mean, that's what you have to talk through.
Yeah.
Because one way, either that or pay for security to be on the trains.
Yeah.
Have armed security, have trained armed security people on the trains. If people are not using this because they're afraid, and they might otherwise if they thought it was safer, then you got to find a solution. The solution just isn't, we'll leave it the way it is.
And they just keep saying, we're going to add another line to another terrible part of town. Like, okay, that seems smart. Just, what are we doing?
No, I just think there's a solution to these types of problems, but it's not just we're going to leave everything the way it is, right? I mean, if you're allowed to carry your weapon, let's say you live, I don't know where, Shrewsbury, and you take the train in to work, so you can't bring the weapon that you normally carry with you. You know, you're allowed to carry in your hometown. You're allowed to carry downtown. You're allowed to do that. But you can't take it with you on the train.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Rage. I don't think that guns are the answer. I also don't think guns are the total problem.
Right.
But I believe in equal protection. I believe in equal rights. And if you don't have the right to if you have the right to protect yourself in pretty much every other area of life, but not that one, and that one happens to be where people have more trouble, where do you think you're going to have more trouble? In your car? Or, well, I mean, I guess you get carjacked.
Yeah.
But we know people have trouble on the Metrolink.
Right. And again, if that's the solution, if you're going to tell people, nope, we're not doing that. We think that we think there's the danger of somebody escalating something that doesn't need to. Then you need to put trained professionals on there to provide armed security. And they should. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know, like you put them in every car because that's a lot of employees. I don't know exactly how, but there has to be a solution that is not just, well, this is what it is.
Yeah. I also think there's something for the fact that it is transportation. Like you said, it's people going to work. It's people going to visit their family members. Just
Go
get
to a
around.
ball game.
Right. But then you go to the ball game. I'm totally fine with Busch Stadium saying you can't bring guns in here. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's
maybe I'm
true.
a hypocrite.
No,
But
it's private business.
true. But I mean, is Metrolink a private business?
Great question.
Don't know.
I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
You have to stop asking all these good questions. You need to get rid of that show of yours.
Seriously.
You've glowed up way too much for our liking.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3 3-day kitchen and bath.
Jerry Adler had their kitchen remodeled by 3-day Kitchen and Bath and talks about the experience.
If we had only met Darren when we started doing this construction, I would have been a lot happier girl than I am now. My husband, when he heard the 3-day kitchen and bath would be in 3 days and out in 3 days, did not believe me.
Did he change his mind?
When he saw that 3-day kitchen and bath came in and was gone in 3 days, he found that that was the best experience we have had. Darren worked with us on our budget so that we could have the kitchen we needed without feeling like we were completely out of our league. They were professional, cared about the other part of the house. The work is beautiful. I wanted to give them the biggest hug ever.
Top quality materials and workmanship. 3-day Kitchen and Bath. On the web at 3daykitchen.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us. And we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey Cardinals fans, there are more ways to watch your Cardinals this season on FanDuel Sports Network. Watch FanDuel Sports Network through your TV provider or, for the first time, subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals. Learn more at FanDuelSportsNetwork.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Oh, Miss Smarty Pants, I have my own show. Forgot to put a new song on.
That's my bad.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
She's human. Speaking of humans, since I'm kind of going off on people today, I'm all full of piss and vinegar. This is not going off on Donald Trump. This is going off on the people who surround Donald Trump. This is also not about politics. This is about humans and human behavior. The fact that Donald Trump requires worship and adoration is not on him. You can have a parent or a romantic partner or a boss or a coworker that demands worship and adoration. And if you do it, that's on you. Would you guys agree with that?
If you go along with it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You guys probably, because I was home yesterday, got to watch a lot of television, and I was watching with one eye the cabinet meeting, and with the other eye the stock market. And with each person that would go, the market would go down. And I don't know if you read about it, but every single cabinet member took a turn kissing Donald Trump's ass. It was disgusting. absolutely disgusting. Has nothing to do with conservative or liberal, Republican, Democrat. It has to do with human. I feel so terrible for these people. They are in positions of power I'll never know. They all have more money than I'll ever dream of having. But I have my dignity. I have my self-respect, and you can have none. When you lick someone's boots like that, you cannot possibly look yourself in the mirror. All of them but Rubio, and poor Marco was just over there looking like he wanted to throw up. And it was his turn. He's like, yeah, everything's fine with the Secretary of State's office. Like, you ever seen The Twilight Zone with Billy Mumy, where he sends people into the corn? And the people who he lives with are like, it's good you sent Wheeler into the corn. Just don't send me in the corn. Like, that's exactly what it was like. It was disgusting. Now, the problem I have with it, because you can be disgusting on your own time. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. It affects me when you're in the cabinet of the United States of America and you're on television and you are acting like bootlickers in front of the rest of the world. I think that we are diminishing by the minute in front of the world, and a lot of it, to my way of thinking, is that. Thoughts?
Did we never televised a Biden cabinet meeting, did we?
Not to my memory.
Or an Obama or
Can't
George
say it never
W.
happened.
It's just odd to me that we're doing that in the first place, because it seems like in these meetings, once in a while, you would have sensitive information to discuss. And I know the retort would be, it's the most transparent administration in history. They want us to know everything that's going on. That's what Carolyn Levitt says, right? It looks like an episode of The Apprentice, and it's just embarrassing.
Yes.
I don't like it, and I wish they would take another approach.
I didn't put two and two together. I only saw a couple episodes of The Apprentice, but you're right. That's exactly. It looks like Gary Busey trying to keep his job.
I don't know. Maybe this is why we're not.
I thought he just said hi.
I know.
I did too. I thought he was like, hi.
Hi. I'm
going to talk now.
I don't have any respect for any human being that bows before another human being. Period. The end. I don't care if it's your boss. I don't care if it's a family member, your parent, spouse. When you have to go, I would quit. I would literally just go live in the wilderness before I would do that. I would never bend the knee and bow. And I'll work for you.
And you'll show respect.
I will work my butt off. If I'm going to work for you, I'll work my ass off for you. And I will definitely show respect. But if you're going to make me praise you every time, or expect that I'm going to praise you every time I show up for work, I quit.
Now, we do bow before Dave, but that's different.
Well, it's different. It's
yeah,
Dave.
it's different. Yeah,
There's no way.
It's fun bowing.
Yeah.
It's ironic.
They love it.
I see it. Look, you guys, we all know it. We've seen it in regular life, too. We've seen it in business,
sure.
But there's a reason why you've got every company's got their own brown nose, or they got their own person who's always just so eager to, oh, you're doing such a great job, boss. Thanks, boss. Love you, boss. Like, I love my boss, but I don't feel the need to go and say, hey, man, every time I have to say something, I'm going to preamble that by saying, or preamble, whatever. I'm going to say something before. like
a preamble.
Before I get to the question at hand,
I'm pre-talk.
I just want to say, you're the best.
Time for before talk, boss.
Yeah. This is the preamble to my amble.
Oh, Brian says they actually did televise some of Biden's cabinet meetings.
I wonder if they do like
business, Brian.
Like the first few minutes where they're not doing serious stuff, and then when they get to the busy stuff, they close the doors and send everybody out. I don't know. Just stop bowing to people.
Trump should fire someone at the end of every cabinet meeting, just like at the end of every Apprentice episode.
St. Louis, your drive home just got a whole lot better. Introducing Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5. Get the latest local news, up-to-the-minute traffic, and exclusive St. Louis Cardinals insights, all in one power-packed hour. Whether you're stuck in traffic or cruising home, stay informed and stay connected to your city and your team. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5, on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more, this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We take you now to Dave Murray's weather, sponsored by Saks Financial.
Temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler this afternoon. We should peak out at about 57. So it's the northwest flow is back after the cool front of last night. Changeable sky, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Clear skies tonight, big bright moon out there. The full moon is on Saturday. It's a cold night, 37. Sunday, sunny skies, 64, so a little bit on the cool side. Saturday night, partly cloudy, 47. And Sunday, sunny, warm it up to 75 Sunday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hi, it's Jeff Sachs. The swings of the market should not affect your retirement plan. Your income in retirement should be independent of the market swings. If you're up all night worrying about it, we need to review your plan, and today is a great day to do it. Let's simplify your retirement at retiresafestl.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-million. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Underdog Fantasy Sports. So I hope you can tell how genuine and authentically excited I am about Underdog. Now, I have been playing almost every day. As you know, I'm super into baseball, super into the Cardinals. So I'm going in there and making my selections on every game. Basketball is also a lot of fun. Doesn't matter what sport you're into. Here's how it works. Maybe it's hockey. Is Ovechkin going to score more than one goal? Or he's going to score one goal, and you say higher or lower. Is Nolan Arenado going to hit more than one home run? Higher or lower? That's it. It's really simple. Wager $1, you can just win as much as $1,000 back. Download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code Glover to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Sign up with promo code Glover. Must be 18 and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Today, the Cards, the Phillies.
Ameren Total Access 620.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
133 DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Have you guys seen the video of the lady having the meltdown in the airport where she gets naked and just starts throwing Kool-Aid or whatever it is at everybody and just going nutso? You haven't seen that?
No.
Here's what I thought. I get it. Honestly, that was my first thought. I saw it and I'm like, that looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, I've crashed out before.
Blow off a little steam.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't on the plane.
Yeah.
She probably deserves this.
I've yelled at the dog when I didn't need to.
Yeah.
It would be easier to go to a public place, get naked, and throw Kool-Aid. You feel like if you did that, and rather than arresting you, they just set you down. They're like, "You okay now?" And you can go like, "Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry about that. I'll clean the Kool-Aid up and I'll put on some pants."
Right. Yeah. Just give me a mop. I got it out of my system.
Right.
I feel a lot better now.
It's the kind of thing the cops are like, now we know you're already plenty embarrassed, so we're not going to punish you.
There's no need for punishment. I think you've learned your lesson here, have you not?
Look, I'm going to be all over TikTok later. If I could just get a mop, and I'll be out of your hair.
No, I'm just being honest. I get it. I understand what led up to that.
What made her do this?
She didn't say. She was naked and throwing Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
She wasn't as reasonable as I would have been.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Gotta have some self-control.
Are you okay today?
No, not really, because people are pissing me off.
What are they doing?
This like
what?
Just everything.
Oh, the naked lady.
Well, no, just all of it. Like feels like everybody's stupid.
I feel like I'm seeing
every
more...
story so far. Like everything we've had. You look at the list. It's like, well, we're stupid over at City Hall, and we're stupid in Washington D.C. And now there's this stupid person making a scene. Like
I feel like
I'm just exhausted by this.
More people acting weird in public now. Though.
Yeah. Control yourself.
Did you hear the lady when we were having lunch today that was speculating on the other customer's race?
No.
You didn't hear that?
No.
There was
but
a
it was
lady
a kind
that
of
was
a friendly thing, wasn't it?
I guess, but she was like sitting waiting for her food, and she was like, "Now you look like you're some kind of Asian," to the guy who was like waiting for his food, and he was like, "Yeah, I am." And she was like, "Well, are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm
sure."
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm Filipino," and she was like, "Is that Asian?" And he was like, "Yeah, it is."
How did I miss this?
You didn't hear?
You didn't hear that? No, it was happening right behind us.
It was super loud up at the counter. Yeah,
you got to hit me to these things.
It was not long after
I didn't
we
want
got
to draw
there.
attention to it because I didn't want her to start
Dave,
speculating on my race.
I think that was happening when you were underdogging.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Now, I don't like to speculate on people's races, but I have an idea of what race that lady was. Just kidding. But seriously.
But yeah, it was yeah, no.
How did the guy take it?
He took it fine.
He was fine, yeah. He wasn't like angry or anything.
He didn't
was
like
almost
get mad.
He was almost like, I really want this to end. So
yeah, he clearly he was he clearly was uncomfortable.
Can
but
I
like
just have my food so I
taking
can
it in
leave?
good humor because she's like, Filipino, is that some kind of Asian or something? And he's like, yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You could say that, I guess.
Yikes!
I did feel bad for the guy for a minute, but then he handled it really well.
He handled it extremely the best you possibly can. There's no good way. Like, there's no perfect way to handle.
But it
something
sounded like
that.
genuine curiosity. It did not sound like anything angry or weird.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably just best to not do
No,
that.
I agree.
Yeah, she wasn't
Good
like
advice.
intention. She wasn't like, you better not be Filipino or I'm gonna have a problem.
She wasn't like,
Yeah.
hey, show me your green card. She wasn't like that.
Real
Yeah.
question. Real question. Because many people will say, oh, you guys are so woke. When the day comes that you can't ask someone if there's some type of Asian, like, would it be better if we're all just so cool with each other that you could do that? And someone go like, interestingly enough, I am. Or, no, I just have some characteristics. Or is it good that it's not good to do that?
I don't know. We're all white here, so I like the whole like white privilege thing and like the feeling that it's like, I should ask you what race you are because you look different than me. It's just like a dumb thing that white people do sometimes. I don't think that makes me woke to say that. I just think you take feedback from people who aren't white who say, yeah, that's less than cool. Please don't do that. And that's good enough for me. I don't need like a solid, like, no, you need to
Just for
prove
the
to me
record,
why this is bad.
The lady asking was not white.
Really?
No, it was not a Karen.
Well, now I'm.
Just want to be clear about this.
No,
I want to
I'm
make
in the
sure that
hot
we're doing.
seats.
No, you're not, because you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. It's just that it's fascinating. Like,
was she some type of Asian?
What I think it is simply is like, does anybody at all, generally speaking, want other people asking them about their appearance, other than saying, "Wow, that's I really like your shoes," or something like you don't want to go to someone and like, man, did you lose a lot of weight lately, or why are you so short, or like there are all kinds of things that are about your appearance, and we do tend to stay away from those unless you know.
Have you lost
The
weight
person.
recently? Has never bothered me once.
No, but it depends on.
Yeah, have you gained weight?
Yeah, but it also depends on who's asking and who's saying and all of that kind of thing, because you don't know.
Yeah.
If you have a familiarity with somebody, that's a different thing. Do you go ask a stranger that?
Depends on their preamble.
Their preamble to the preamble to their amble.
You know when we did the perfect grilled cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it again.
I'm still thinking about
And
it.
I'd ask the people online watching to join in if you like. Perfect boiga. What's your perfect burger? Not like McDonald's double cheese, like you're building it.
Perfect.
How you building it? Want me to go first?
Yes.
I like a smash patty more than a big thick patty. So I'm going the softest bun you can find, as soft as mine. So like a bunny bread right out of a Wonder Bread. I don't care. The cheapest, softest buns you can find with 2 smash patties, burger cheese, Miracle Whip, little bit of mustard, relish, onion, maybe tomato.
2 smash patties.
That's right, sir.
Those
Never
those sneak
considered
up on
that,
you.
have you?
Well, those can sneak up on you. The smash patties, they look small, but they can sneak up on you.
I can take it.
Okay. I might do a smash too. I like a thick burger, but sometimes they can get dried out if they're big. If they're cooked too long and they're thick, they can get real dried out.
They make me tired to eat.
Yeah, I'm probably doing like an onion bun. I like an onion bun with
I've never heard those 2 words together.
Yeah,
An
it's like
onion bun.
it's like a potato bun, I think, that's got like onions like grilled into it. Little like diced onions.
It's an onion roll, yeah.
Yeah, onion roll, whatever that is. Look, I just eat it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're good.
And yeah, I'll do a smash patty as well. Some American on there.
Condiments.
Maybe like a nice ketchup, a little, not too much ketchup, and then like some nice creamy mayo on there.
All right.
Yeah.
I like the combo.
Like one of those egg white mayos.
Rach?
Okay, I like a smash burger as well, but probably just a single, because too much burger can ruin the burger.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
If you're exhausted by the end of that, it kind of takes away from the experience. I really like the Shake Shack buns. Those are almost like a King's Hawaiian almost.
Ooh, yeah. I might do King's Hawaiian actually over.
I would take that.
Onion, because that is the superior bread. You're totally right.
And I'm going to do a sharp cheddar for my cheese.
You do love the sharp cheddar.
I do. And I'll probably just do mustard and pickles. And onions. Yeah, that sounds good. Mm-hmm.
We're pretty similar, the 3 of us.
A little bit.
What's a beef brother? Oh, probably beef broth. I'm looking at Eric on the stream.
Yeah.
He says smash burger cooked in beef brother.
I think it's definitely
I
broth.
like
Yeah.
beef brother.
This beef brother person.
I wish I had a
What's the
beef
thing?
brother.
I was like, I'd like to meet this beef brother of yours.
Eric, I'd like to be your beef brother. Wheels, you're really noodling on this one.
I am, because I have like 3 that are my go-tos when I make them, so I'm trying to pick the one.
What's your restaurant burger? Like, where's your place to go for a burger at a restaurant?
I'm glad you restated that because I didn't understand it.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm thinking about burgers.
What's
okay?
your restaurant burger? And by that I mean
I can't talk straight. I'm thinking about burgers.
There's a good place close to us, Mike's Grill and Tap, that does an awesome burger. They like the big pub
Shout
burgers.
out to Mike.
Yeah.
Where exactly do you live?
When I'm doing them,
what's the address?
when I'm doing it, it's gonna be the 3rd pound pub burger, medium. And if I have to pick the goat, the goat is the teriyaki burger. So teriyaki sauce, slice of pineapple that's grilled on top of that.
Look how sexy you are.
Pineapple.
Monterey Jack cheese is the cheese on the burger. And then usually with that, you want to go with either the King's Hawaiian bun, because sometimes it's a little too much sweet, so then just a regular, like, super awesome bakery bun, like the good kind. Plain old, like not flavored, just simple but soft.
Whenever we talk about Kevin, what we learn about him that he doesn't exude outside of, I think, food stuff, is that this is a man with expensive tastes.
That's not
this is
expensive when you make it your-
this is a prim and proper gentleman we're speaking to.
Driving his Camaro.
Driving his
Pineapple on
Camaro.
a cheeseburger.
Going to get a Kaiser
dude,
bun.
I'm telling you,
Must
man.
have pineapple on a fine bakery bun.
Yeah.
And crab cakes straight from the sea.
I
I
almost
said
thought about that.
teriyaki.
Yeah. The other one would be like my own version of the Big Mac. So you just make it the 3rd pound pub burger, and then you do white American cheese instead of yellow, that stuff, and then you do
all
the
beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese.
Nope,
pickles,
no
onions
pickles
on
or-
a sesame seed bun.
no pickles or onions, none.
Oh, guess what I made yesterday? I got Captain D's.
Oh.
And they didn't send me any tartar sauce.
Oh.
So I made my own.
Whoa.
Miracle Whip, relish, and ketchup. I'm not sure that makes tartar sauce.
I don't think there's ketchup in there.
Yeah.
I think there is.
Was
There
it,
is?
Look it up.
Was it pink? Your sauce?
Okay. Yes,
Is
it
it
was, it was a little pink.
Yeah, it's just
All three boys thought that was dirty.
It's just I'm moving the conversation forward. It's just mayonnaise, pickles or relish,
It's a bad
and
segment
then
for
like
me.
parsley or dill.
No,
Okay.
there's ketchup.
Okay, so slam on the brakes here. We've got Glover sauce.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you have your
Ladies
own
and gentlemen,
invention.
we've invented Glover sauce.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you've got
It's
your
a
own
pink
invention.
sauce.
Yeah.
It's pink sauce.
I'm gonna bring this to an end. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
No, you got to do
Lie.
smart mouth.
Rach is like, we're going
And
for
you,
the out.
and you have to
I
work
just-
pink sauce into
I took
it.
a couple of L's in that segment.
Yeah, you
I gotta
did.
say.
You did. Bringing you back
That's
down
all
to
I
right.
earth.
apologize to everyone who I offended.
We all take L's.
Next week, you can talk about those L's on the Rachel Zimmerman show.
My whole world is built with L's.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you about Smart Mouth. You will not take an L if you buy a bottle of Smart Mouth. In fact, you will be eliminating your bad breath at the source, which is not something I can say about those other brands that you're going to find on the shelf next to the Smart Mouth. Smart Mouth uses activated zinc ions to bind to the bacteria that exists in your mouth and prevent that from producing stinky sulfur gas. Now, that is your bad breath. So if you can eliminate that, you've eliminated your bad breath at the source, and it works for 12 hours per rinse. So you use it once in the morning and once at night, and you have 24-hour bad breath protection.
I'm almost always going to take the opportunity to tell you guys about the clinical formula. It used to be called Gum Health because I have a little bit of gingivitis going on because I haven't been to the dentist enough. And if you spit a little blood into the sink when you brush your teeth, if you want that gone, just go to wherever whatever convenience store, whatever grocery store is your pick. Go to the mouth rinse section, find Smart Mouth, and buy Clinical, and it's going to stop that within a week of using it, and it stops it for as long as you use it. You can get a coupon for $2.50 off at smartmouth.com/Glover.
The Ultimate Drive, hosted by Albert Pujols and benefiting the Pujols Family Foundation, returns Thursday, May 22nd to Top Golf in Chesterfield. Enjoy dinner and drinks, play golf with a celebrity, and support Albert and the Pujols Family Foundation. Limited days remain. Reserve yours today at PujolsFamilyFoundation.org or go to KingMOX.com/events for more info. The Ultimate Drive, hosted by Albert Pujols, sponsored in part by KingMOX and Top Golf.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, April 26th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Welcome back, guys. DGS, very active on the stream today. Good comments. Blair says, love the show, but man, you drive me nuts. Not going to get your own food, paying $30 for an order less than $10. Plus your food is cold when you get it. Leave the house, man. It'll be okay. Blair, here's what you don't understand. We're rich.
Blair, I do what you're saying. I'm with you, brother.
We're in radio.
Blair, I love your name, and I have tried to be much better about ordering food. I am leaving the house to go get my food these days.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's nice. It does save a lot of money off of those orders, I will say.
Yeah, I that part matters to me, but the bigger thing that matters to me is knowing that it's not going to be in somebody's car for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Or 30 minutes.
That's a little weird.
Like, I know that.
Not even just the amount of time that your food is from, grill to table.
Right.
And I'm not harshing on DoorDash drivers.
No.
Just being physically with another person's kind of odd. Like you with milk.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that part doesn't bother me. It's more of the distance, the time from the time it leaves the grill to the time it hits my face.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, that's why DoorDash has devised this evil plan to make you pay $4 more, so they just bring it straight to you.
Oh, yeah.
And
Express.
it's like, oh, okay, you're just squeezing more money out of me for
Yeah.
something
Yep.
that should be happening.
And you know what? I don't order that much, but I click the thing.
Yeah.
I clicked
You did?
Yeah, bring it
you're
straight
already
to me.
spending $25
I was
going to
say, for the
Yeah.
extra $4, it's probably worth it for that to get it faster.
Adam Waymeyer has dashed my Dave sauce dreams.
Oh, no.
Mayo relish and ketchup is basically Thousand Island.
Yeah, which is,
I
by the
knew
way,
I was
the
making
best
something.
dressing. Yeah.
I knew I was making something.
It's the best dressing, too.
If I could
workshop some
only
more.
pick one
And that was
condiment
good on fish?
the rest of my life, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it would be Thousand Island dressing.
Yeah, it's up there, man.
Yeah.
That's what I use for, in that Big Mac burger recipe. I use that instead of just making the Big Mac sauce.
It's what I grew up with.
Yeah, it's so good. It's good on everything, too. Good on chicken.
It was such a game changer because my mom was big on salads.
Yeah.
But until I discovered Thousand Island dressing, here was a salad. She would take iceberg lettuce.
Yep.
She would cut like a quarter of it, like a wedge salad.
Yep.
Put it in those classic brown, hard plastic bowls, and then put a big, giant dollop of Miracle Whip on the top.
Boom!
That was the salad.
Did she know about ranch? Like, did she think that they were the
What are
same
you trying
thing?
to say about my mom?
No, I just mean, like, did you just...
She's some sort of backwoods cracker?
Listen, I said this to my wife the other day. Until about 3 or 4 years ago, I thought Miracle Whip and whipped cream were the same thing.
What?
I know.
Okay, you don't get to talk for the rest of the hour.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, did she know there was a difference between that and ranch? Because it's not that hard to not know.
Now, in your defense, I don't think I ever heard the word ranch until like college.
Really?
So no, we didn't have a lot of
We were
choices.
when I was a kid, we were a French dressing or a Catalina dressing household.
I don't like that.
My dad liked the really sweet dressings for the salad stuff.
I don't mind it.
And to me, it was great. And then I found Thousand Island.
What's the worst dressing or worst condiment
Mayo.
for you guys?
Mayo alone. Like, it's fine when it's mixed with other things. I don't like it alone.
Relish and yellow mustard. I know that breaks your heart, Dave, but both of those things are really disgusting to me. I like other kinds of mustards, but a yellow mustard, just
Like
the
a Grey
standard.
Poupon?
Yeah, but the standard yellow
fancy
mustard.
pants.
Yeah,
ugh.
seriously.
You and Wheeler should move into Ledoux together.
Yeah. Have spicy brown on our
On your onion rolls.
on our crab cakes.
We'll just live in Chateau Poupon.
I bet you would.
Catalina dressing might be my most hated. I don't like that.
It's
stuff.
super sweet.
What does it
It's
taste
not
like?
for me? I feel like it tastes like ketchup, which I like, but I don't want it on
What
my
does?
salad.
Catalina. Have you seen it? It's really dark orange.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. Really dark orange and
Are you hip to
super
this?
sweet. It's citrusy, but it's like really sweet.
Mm-hmm. What's it made of?
I don't know. Catalina.
Best
Catalinas?
dressing of all time ever is Moonlight over in Fosterburg.
They do make
House
a good
dressing?
salad.
House dressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like Italian
sort
style?
of like a
Is it-
Caesar-y kind of thing?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I love Caesar dressing.
Yeah.
Just pick my nose in front of everybody.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Everybody does it.
It's your show.
I was just
you know?
rubbing.
I can't think about how
Had an
Caesar
itch.
dressing has anchovies in it because that grosses me out.
Caesar, yeah.
I don't know why.
It's fine though when it's
Me
just
too.
anchovy paste. I don't want like little pieces of anchovy
See,
in it though.
the word paste makes it worse to me.
It makes everything worse.
Yeah. That makes me think of somebody putting anchovies on a table and just like mashing them with their
Yeah.
fist until they're a paste.
It's a lot better than
basically
actual
it.
pieces of anchovy though.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Anchovy's the only fish that sucks. Like every other fish is good.
I like it.
Do you?
Stupid
Yeah.
fish.
Really?
I do.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Do you like it on pizza?
I don't know if I've ever had it on a pizza, but I mean, I like it in my Caesar dressing because I can taste whenever it's like extra anchovy, and I'm like,
You ever
yeah.
taken just a bite out of one?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah, it's.
I had an acquaintance who used to just buy tinned mackerel
Oh,
from
sure.
Schnucks and just eat that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Smelled
What's
terrible.
that crap that the Swedish delicacy that smells like the worst thing? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh man.
Are you talking about Hakarl, the shark?
No,
from
it's something else,
Greenland?
but it's like it's
Andrew's
in a,
been
it's
waiting
in a,
years
it's
to
in
say
a,
that.
it's in a
I
tin.
know, I was excited.
And it's like it's been a TikTok challenge a million times. It's like we dare you to eat this, and if you can eat the whole thing, you win. I don't know what. But most people can't even get through a couple bites because it smells so bad.
Amy says Kataro, that was on Highway K, has the best dressing. Man, I miss Kataro, Amy. I love me a hibachi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that closed.
Brought that to a stop.
Yeah.
Now we're doing nothing on the show but reading the stream.
Salad
Yeah, and like
dressings.
listing off stuff we like to eat.
This is the danger of when the stream is like too active in the comments, is that we all just sit and look and like, yeah, I think that's a good.
Let's be honest,
that's a
man.
good burger,
Everybody
too.
likes talking food. I mean,
It's
that's
true.
It's just
Yeah.
like it's real. Everybody likes talking about it. It's what when you're with your people, you talk about food a lot.
Absolutely.
I wish
Food and what you're watching on TV.
Wish I had people.
You got peeps.
Tell you guys about the Gelman team. It is a weird time, and I apologize to the Gelman team that I keep doing the same live, but it's never a bad time to use the Gelman team, but it is a bad time to use someone lesser than the Gelman team. What does lesser mean in my mind? It means less experience, less years on the ground, with all due respect to people who just got their license, less deals under your belt, fewer real estate agents under your purview, less resources, less experience with negotiating, everything that is involved with listing a house, pricing a house, staging a house, selling a house, closing on a house. The Gelmans are absolutely great. I've done it 3 times with the Gelmans personally as a client, and I have nothing but good things to say about them. They're also really good people who are easy to work with. If you want to find out what your house is worth right now, you can do that without talking to a single Gelman. Just go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com. That's 2 L's, thegelmanteam.com. When you're ready to talk, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code FAST. swishradio.com, code FAST.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Build
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee If your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there is a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX. Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got 55 degrees. The feels like is 46 downtown at the Arch. City workers loading up barricades onto big orange trucks in downtown St. Louis. The fencing blocked off a park and City Hall and was put up to keep homeless people from camping after instances of violence. It's been there for a long time, since 2023.
It was, and I don't think they were up for restoration. But yeah, I'm glad that they're down, and hopefully, we come up with a way to house some people.
That passerby says the city needs to do a better job at that. This comes a day after Mayor-elect Spencer said she'd prefer the fencing gone, but Mayor Jones' office says the removal happened because the grass has been restored. Could St. Louis City join 4 other counties as part of the Regional Police Training Center soon to be constructed?
St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman hopes they will. Ellman says despite the city not expressing interest in the project, the door is not closed.
In our planning, we have provided for the opportunity when and if they are ready to come into it.
Ellman is hopeful the new mayor and state-appointed board could change the city's position. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
One of the newly elected St. Louis City school board members tells KMOX she's concerned about the future accreditation of the district.
I need to see data and documentation that says that we're moving forward.
That's Dr. Karen Collins-Adams, who says once she's sworn in, she wants to see where the district stands financially 6 months after dismissing the former superintendent.
We're at risk of losing our status of being fully accredited, and so that's an important thing. We don't ever want to go back to what we had, 20 years ago when the district was unaccredited.
In fact, her husband, Dr. Kelvin Adams, was superintendent for 14 years, restoring full accreditation before his retirement in 2022. Collins-Adams has decades of experience as an educator and administrator in local districts. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
A bill has passed the Senate, is headed to the House that would ban certain food additives in Illinois.
Those additives are potassium bromate and propylparaben. They're used as a preservative. It's State Senator Willie Preston's proposal.
These dangerous food additives are linked to cancer and hypertension in our children. This is the most important thing that I believe I can do now as a lawmaker.
Back in January, the FDA banned red dye number 3 in food, drinks, and drugs. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk. The Trump administration is optimistic about working out equitable trade deals while President Trump's tariffs are on hold.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt reports progress as several countries are trying to negotiate new trade deals to head off the president's tariffs.
More than 15 offers are already on the table, which is remarkable in just a mere matter of days. And as I said earlier, we've heard from more than 75 countries around the world.
Secretary Leavitt describes this as a massive undertaking.
The president is determined to renegotiate global trade.
President Trump has paused tariffs against most nations for 90 days to allow time for negotiations. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Dow from Stifel this hour is up about 1.5%, 599 points to 40,192. We've got a stalled vehicle 364 east at Maryland Heights Expressway on the right shoulder. Also 270 north at Gravois on the right shoulder. There's a stall on, a crash actually, 270 going north at 6440. That's on the right shoulder as well.
Temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler this afternoon. We should peak out at about 57. So it's the northwest flow is back after the cool front of last night. Changeable sky, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Clear skies tonight, big bright moon out there. The full moon is on Saturday. It's a cold night, 37. Sunday, sunny skies, 64, so a little bit on the cool side. Saturday night, partly cloudy, 47. And Sunday, sunny, warm it up to 75 Sunday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We've got a cloudy sky. It is 55 in St. Peter's and Florissant, also 55 downtown at the Arch. Feels like it's 46. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Kind of a long intro, huh?
A little bit,
A little bit. Yeah, and so on and so on and so forth. You get it. Boy, the stream is blowing up about salad dressing. David Stamper says the best salad dressing is Mayfair. Do love me a Mayfair. You can get it at O'Connell's. I will absolutely go to O'Connell's and get that. It's been a long time since I had a good Mayfair. Brian says if it's the ginger Japanese dressing you like, at Schnucks, nice. And then James Crockett said, I find myself watching the TV behind Dave during the commercials. I get it.
You got Let's Make a Deal.
When we first moved in
wow,
here.
your camera's really blurry right
I
now.
know. I don't know what's going on with that.
Try to put like your hand up to it and see if it'll focus on that.
Boy, I got my hand.
Yeah.
I'll go try and move it around a little bit.
What about the camera?
Because it's trying to focus on, like, the focus is bad. It's trying to focus on something really close to it, which is why your hand's so clear.
That's
Hang on,
okay.
let me go look.
No. You just stay where you are.
Right.
Dave's I like the Barbara Walters look.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you should see. Like,
I look so much better.
It's like, I actually could have preferred like this.
Yeah.
you should see some of these housewives or like the Kardashian show now. The filters and the lighting they have on their confessionals. It's like, are you okay? You look like a different person.
No,
the lighting is crazy. It'll just be like a floodlight right on their face.
See, I would be afraid of someone, once they see me in real life, they'd be like, oh my God, you're a monster. If I were constantly filming myself in filters, if I'm ever going to see humans, you're going to look worse. That's why I always talk about being super fat. So that when people met me, they're like, you're not super fat. I mean, you're fat, but you're not super fat. You got to lower the expectations. Don't raise them.
Don't make people think you're cool.
I was thinking about this today. What is the last thing that you learned to do? Because you're young, but you're not babies. Wheels and I are semi-old, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. What's the last thing you learned to do? For example, with me, probably barbecuing. When Nick and I did the barbecue circuit and I really learned and I really studied and I experimented and I got pretty good at it, that's probably the last thing that I didn't know anything about. And I learned, I didn't master it, but I got pretty good at it. How about you guys?
Ooh, can I still be in the process?
Sure.
Because tennis is one. And then also like using sharp knives and how to actually cut things instead of just like, or like how to like dice different things. Like Kurt's a chef. He knows how to do all this stuff.
Does he judge your cuts?
He has shown me the right way to do it, and it feels weird in my hand because it's like different than I've done it in the past. So I'm working on it. But
because you do it like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just stabbing you right in the heart. Yeah.
Wheels, how about you? What's the last thing you learned?
I don't know.
I feel like you need a hug.
No, I'm
looking okay, Wheels.
Yeah,
He's
no,
really
everything's good.
down today.
I'm just having a hard time because you guys are asking me these really deep questions that I got to think about cheeseburgers. You know, I mean, I got to think about these things. I don't know. I don't think I learn new things very often because I don't need any new things. But I'm always learning stuff about baseball. Like I'm always learning new training techniques, new stuff, new ways of doing things or getting certain type of characteristic out of a player. So that's probably all it is. It's just constantly
What's
doing
something
that.
you would like to learn?
Guitar, but I have no patience and I don't want to learn how to read music.
Gets in your way.
Other than that, I'm ready to rip.
Kevin looks at sheet music and he's just like, nah.
Because, Dave, I still have the one you let me borrow, and I like to play around with it.
You should bring that back.
Yeah, I'll bring it back. Next year or 2 or 3, I don't know. Maybe somewhere down the road.
I'm never going to learn how to play guitar.
And I'm like, I'll sit there. I do it all the time. I'm like, this
he has
feels
a
so good.
72 Les Paul Deluxe in his house.
When he said, like, I love the guitar, but I'm never going to actually learn
I'm
them.
never going to pick
It's
one.
like,
Dave's
you pick that thing up. I do it all the time, and I'm like, man, this is cool. It feels good.
You just pretend?
And then, no, I don't do that. But I'm like, can I play this? Can I try to do anything just by ear? And I'm like, no.
Andrew, how about you?
If we're talking stuff that's in process, I'm almost all the way crate trained, but that's still like
you mean peeing in the crate?
Yeah. It's ongoing. So it's slow going. But
You
we're
know
still
what's
working
interesting about that? When you just said that, everyone in the audience pictured you in a crate.
That was the goal,
right? Remember when I famously a couple years ago said licking a corpse? And I said, every one of you just pictured licking a corpse.
I did just when he said that.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It's the control you have over people.
No, baseball is sort of a good thing. I share the office with Kevin, and I don't know a whole lot about baseball, but starting with last year, I really started to enjoy watching it, and I learned how to enjoy watching it, which I think if it doesn't come to you naturally is something you have to do with baseball. You got to kind of learn to enjoy it by learning about the game.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot about it from Kevin, and he puts up with my like very stupid questions about like, why can't this same guy just pitch 18 consecutive innings or whatever? And Kevin very patiently is like, he gets tired. Makes sense. He gets tired.
Yeah,
I get that. I get tired too. It's so relatable.
I will say this: a lot of things do come down to the more you know about it, the more you like it. You ever find that with like music, Dave, where the more you got to know about it, the more you appreciated a lot of it?
No.
Really?
No, not playing. The more I learned.
No, I mean, like the more you figured out how to do it, the more you appreciated how good other people were.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it is kind of with me with sports.
Yeah.
It's like the more I know about it, because I've had a lot of interaction with all the major sports, the more you're like, God, these guys are so good.
Yeah. For me, the more I learned about music, guitar anyway, drums came very naturally to me, but playing guitar, the better I got, the more discouraged I got.
Oh, because you could just see how far it was.
Kind of oxymoronic, maybe.
It's kind of the same vibe as me.
No,
like
I get it. It's a hump to get over. It's
Yeah.
like a really big hump to get over.
Like
it
you
just
in the
looks
crate
so
training.
daunting. Yeah, when I first time that I looked at that pad and that crate, I was like, "There's no way.
There's no way.
I'm not gonna be able to figure this out. I'm just gonna,
Every time.
I'm just gonna go on the couch like I've been doing."
Yeah, that's what I think about it.
Now we're picturing that.
That's what
Excited.
when I pick up that.
What couch did you picture?
I pictured like the couch that my parents had when I was
Me
a baby,
too.
like the brown one
Yes,
with like the leaves
with, like,
on
the
it.
leaves on it.
Yes.
Oh my
Where's the
God.
bell? We gotta ring the bell.
That's I think I have a picture of my mom sitting on that one. Hold on. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. I'm looking up pictures.
Looking up pictures. Can you search it? Can you be like couch?
You know what I can do is search my mom.
Oh, okay. I'll get you in the right general vicinity.
Brown
But that feel you're
couch.
describing, like that's what it feels like to me when I pick up the guitar. I'm like, I think this is cool. I could probably do this. And then I have to figure out how to use the, like change the chords and notes with their hand. And I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can figure out the whole part of like the strumming part. Feel like I could do the timing on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just gonna. I'm just gonna go fast, right? I mean, like thrash. But then that up and down thing, like you're like, like I can't do that stuff. My hands just like, yeah, no.
Kevin breaks all the strings the first time. He just goes,
Yeah.
Power chord is what we call that.
Yeah, I found the
Find it?
couch.
Let's
Did
see
you?
it.
I found a couch.
Oh,
Most of them are videos. I used to surreptitiously, what's the word I'm looking
surreptitiously.
for? Surreptitiously film my mom. So there's the couch.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's got the leaves that are like if you rub your fingers across it, you can feel the leaves.
Yeah, that's not totally. Mine was more of like velvety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is very velvety.
Okay.
My
Maybe that
poor
was-
mom, when she before she got sick and went into the nursing home, she was like, "Now, Dave, you bought this couch for me," which I did, and so I want you to have it.
Oh.
Poor thing, she smoked like a chimney, and I'm like, "Oh, Mom, I could never take that. I could never take your couch." Like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
That's sweet though.
Called
it was
the-
very sweet. Should have just kicked her ass off and taken it right there. Tooken.
Tooken it.
I'm gonna took it.
Should
Down
have
from
just
her.
taken it. You know what I don't get? Boy, this show's weird. This is a weird. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
That's what. It's the full moon this weekend. That's why.
Yes, the pink
Oh,
moon.
That's it.
That's what Dave
Like my
said
sauce.
yesterday.
Pink sauce.
And as
Pink
soon as
sauce
Dave
moon.
said it yesterday, I was like, "Oh no, here we go."
Yeah, it could be something about like the liquid in your head, in your brain, moves around.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
real.
I'm glad I got an excuse anyway.
Have you guys ever howled at the moon?
Yeah.
I knew it. I was gonna say I know.
Well,
Will's done it.
Prince of Wolves.
I was calling my pack. What can I tell you?
Where was I going with that?
You said this is weird, and then we got
Oh, yeah.
sidetracked by how weird it was.
I don't understand wax figures. Like there is one African American, Viola Davis, Madame Tussauds, whatever.
that,
just
yeah.
did one of her, and it's creepily perfect and amazing. I just in 2025, maybe in 1910, I kind of
Yeah.
get it, but in 2025, are you really going to go look at a wax figure?
No.
Do you guys know the Hall of Presidents wax figure
Yeah.
conspiracy at Disney?
No.
Which is that so the Trump one that's been in the Hall of Presidents at Epcot at Disney for many years now. It looks a whole lot like Hillary Clinton.
Oh, wow.
It looks almost identical to Hillary Clinton and doesn't really look much like Trump except the hair. So the conspiracy theory is that Disney had one of these very expensive
Had it
wax
made already.
figure animatronics made to look like Hillary because
Can
they
you
were.
find that on Google?
It's
I
very
got it.
it's very easy to find. It looks
I'm gonna go
exactly
look.
like Hillary, and then
I wouldn't say exactly, but
they changed it at the very last second to look like Trump.
I mean,
I hate it when I have to prove I'm not a robot just to look at a picture.
yeah, it's
You're
not
a robot, dude.
Yeah,
Get
that
off my case.
yeah, that's the robot.
Well, it doesn't look like Trump.
Doesn't
Whoever
look
it
like
does
Trump.
look like.
Yeah.
And so the theory is
it
that
looks
they
like
just
an actor. There's an actor that looks like that.
John
Who's it?
Voight.
Yeah, it looks like
a little
John
bit,
Voight.
yeah, a little bit.
It looks like they took like a little mallet to the face and the hair, and we're like, we gotta make this look right. Hurry!
Now
Man,
I haven't
Trump
been
won.
there in a long time. Are they?
Trump
Are they?
just won Pennsylvania. We got.
Are they all a little weird?
No, they all pretty much look like the other the presidents except that one, which
Really?
is kind of where that theory came from.
Okay. Because I mean, I haven't been in that Hall of Presidents since I was a little kid. Because it's the worst thing at Disney. It's literally.
I went
the
to
worst
it when I was there on my
thing. Like,
honeymoon.
why would I want to waste my
That's
time?
hot.
Yeah. Why would I want to be
I was there for about 10 seconds, and I was like, kind of like Kevin. I was like, this sucks.
Like my parents
You're like
made me.
LBJ. Mean anything to you?
Yeah. Like my parents made us go in there for whatever reason. I'm like, why are we doing this stupid thing? I want to ride rides. Ride rides.
That one was just for Rach.
Stupid Hall of Presidents.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, just like the expression in the eyes is very Hillary-like. So I get where they're coming from. I see it.
Would you like some sort of homage to you when you're gone like that?
No,
Like a bronze bust?
no, I don't care. I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Why do I
can't. I feel like any statue of me is just going to get defaced. I'm not worried. I'm not worried too much about it.
Who's gonna deface your statue?
People are going to pull it down like Saddam.
Beat it with a shoe.
Andrew acts like there's like this whole society of people that hate him.
I know.
I've met a few.
Just that one guy you beat in Magic the
Yeah.
Gathering.
Yeah.
That nerd's
Yeah.
not pulling your statue down.
Yeah. He didn't have the arm strength. Speaking of arm strength, let me tell you guys about Dr. Maupin and BioBalance Health. And let me just bottom line it for you. aging is just weird, right? It's so strange. You just see like celebrities that you haven't seen in 20 years, and they look like someone made a candle out of them, then lit it and let it melt a little bit. Aging it's harsh. It's brutal. If you want to fight against it, the most effective way that I have found is with Dr. Kathy Maupin. 2 ways. BioBalance Health, freestanding building, is where I get my testosterone pellets. Get them twice a year. It takes about 15 minutes, and you get 6 months of improvement in your libido, improvement in your performance, improvement in your brain fog, improvement in your sleeping, improvement in the gym, because you have the testosterone of a younger person. Pretty simple. 2 + 2, right? Next door is another freestanding building, which is BioBalance Skin, where you can get Botox and chemical peels and fillers and this new treatment, which I have an appointment for, but haven't gone yet, called Moxie, which is a form of a laser that gets rid of age spots and dark spots on your face. So for all things Dr. Maupin, you want to feel better and look better, go to biobalancehealth.com.
Do you know about the true crimes that inspired a Bruce Springsteen album? Or the murders AC/DC was blamed for? How about Taylor Swift's Violent Stalkers? Or the suspicious deaths of Brittany Murphy and River Phoenix? These stories and more are told in the Disgraceland podcast, hosted by me, Jake Brennan, every Tuesday, where I dive deep into subjects from the dark side of music history and entertainment. So follow and listen to Disgraceland on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at $119. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and tell them that KMOX sent you. Spell it forward, spell it backward. It's always the same. Zero Res.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
KMOX is everywhere. 11:20 a.m. Streaming live on the Odyssey app and now at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Do you guys know what the Yanaguchi Monument is?
No.
So
Yes.
it's big in the paranormal world. Wheels, you know what it is.
Mhm.
It is the underwater structure about a few miles off of Japan that paranormal ancient aliens people think was man-made.
Right.
And it dates back to 12,000 years ago because the cuts are perfect laser steps, the whole thing. Other more mainstream scientists have said, no, that's just the way that rocks break off under pressure. You guys are crazy. Well, a bunch of mainstream scientists have now changed their tune and said, we now agree. We think this was man-made 12,000 years ago, and it is far and above. It's like rivaling the pyramids in its structure. Interesting, huh?
It's so clearly man-made when you look at it. Sorry, Rach.
That's okay. I was just saying, sounds cool.
Wait, what? Where is it again?
It's off the coast of Japan.
It's so clearly man-made when you look at it. Like I've never bought into
Yanaguchi.
I've never bought
right,
into
Yanaguni, sorry.
That,
Yanaguni.
yeah, that doesn't change it for me. They did an episode about that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. I did.
Several.
I saw that. Yeah.
Several. Yeah.
And by they, I mean Giorgio and his friends.
Yes.
And there's that one guy.
I was
that's
kinda
always
wondering
way
who they
too
was.
excited.
I'm still wondering who Giorgio is.
He's the big hair guy.
The guy who does
the meme that said
yeah,
the meme that says it's the aliens. That's Giorgio.
China is adding outdoor escalators up the side of mountains. You guys ever look, I'm a good, proud American, but I'm also open-minded. When I hear things like this, you ever go, what if we're the ones being fed all the malarkey? What if China's got it right? What if that's the way to go? They're building escalators up mountains.
I mean,
I don't think it is. I'm just saying, though, every now and then you go
I mean,
I think everybody gets something right. You know?
Well, we could do
I think
that.
maybe nobody does everything wrong.
Right? I mean, there's nothing. There's no reason we couldn't do that.
And yet
why
we
don't.
How tall are these mountains?
Biggest in the world.
Whoa.
What if you could take an escalator to the top of Everest?
just stand on an escalator
You're like,
for 3 straight days.
You guys ever had a seafood tower? You know, like at Bruce Chris or something like that? Now the new hot thing, hot dog
I
towers.
saw this.
Hot dog towers. There's a place in South Carolina called Sir Wiener's.
I hate that I was looking at my arm when you said that, and I visibly snapped to attention. Yes. And
Why were you looking at your arm?
I got a thing. I'm scratching it.
Weird day.
I got a little thing, when you get a little thing on your arm, and you're like, "Yeah, what's that?" And you scratch at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you
just
give
one
us
of
more
those things.
detail.
It's just like a little.
No,
I
I
don't
was
know,
kidding about that.
Okay.
No. Boy, you killed that Sir Wiener's joke.
Go on, Sir Wieners. I still want to know about the hot dog tower.
He's so cute.
I'm just as curious as I was before.
Funny.
Well, you can picture a hot dog tower, right?
I don't really know what a seafood tower is.
So it's like 3 or 4 different layers of, on the bottom you have a big thing of crab, and then you have scallops, and then you
Shrimps.
have this and shrimps, and this is just that, but hot dogs, where they have, they
Hot
just
dogs are the same thing.
Not
Well,
all.
not all.
No.
Maybe you have Chicago dogs on
Right,
the bottom.
right.
I see.
We've
Then
talked
you-
about this
then you-
before.
Then you have brats on
There's
the
a
next
Costco
level.
dog, and then there's a.
I was just
Ballpark
picturing
Frank, and
just
there's a-
straight up wieners lined up around the thing.
That's what you're picturing?
That's what I was picturing.
Straight
That's what I-
wieners?
yeah, that's what I had in mind.
Sir Wiener?
Well, I mean, it's not called Sir Fully Formed Hot Dogs.
You okay? You okay, Wheels?
No.
How glad are you to be on this show?
It's the best. He's just straight up like, I love wieners.
Straight ones.
He's known for that.
I'm known for it.
A tower, you say?
A tower.
A tower.
Yes,
of
a
wieners.
tower of wieners. What would your ultimate tower be?
Ooh.
Would you like a sampler of?
Maybe like a charcuterie tower. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I think just like a big charcuterie board is what really makes me happy.
You like it?
Love it.
Do you like most of the things on it? I find I don't like most of the things on it.
Oh, I love like meats and cheeses. and,
Oh,
like,
see, I've
steaks.
yet to have a bite of prosciutto that I didn't have to pretend I liked.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
prosciutto.
I like a prosciutto.
Yeah, it's not
A
bad.
gabagool. Hear me out.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Gabagool is different than
I don't
prosciutto.
know.
Oh, I thought they were the same thing.
No,
I,
that's-
I did
that's,
too, and I was correct.
No,
about
that's
that. Trust me.
I believe that's mozzarella, right?
No, it's meat. It's not cheese.
You're right. It's a meat.
It's like
a meat. Yeah.
I forget what
Capicola.
it's called. Yeah.
That's what it is. Because
Let's go to break.
Gabagool.
wieners.
French fry tower. Gabagool. Isn't it?
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news.
Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
If it's gonna rain, I want to know.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
We take you now to Dave Murray. We take you now to Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler this afternoon. We should peak out at about 57. So it's the northwest flow is back after the cool front of last night. Changeable sky, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Clear skies tonight, big bright moon out there. The full moon is on Saturday. It's a cold night, 37. Sunday, sunny skies, 64, so a little bit on the cool side. Saturday night, partly cloudy, 47, and Sunday, sunny, warming up to 75 Sunday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Brought to you by Volley. Volley. Level up game night with Volley, the smart TV app for playing games like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, or test your knowledge with fun music quizzes and party games. Turn your TV into the ultimate game hub with the Volley app on your Roku or Fire TV. Download it and play today. Volley.
Harbor Freight knows time is money, so for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. Right now, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll caps under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Hey Cardinals fans, there are more ways to watch your Cardinals this season on FanDuel Sports Network. Watch FanDuel Sports Network through your TV provider or, for the first time, subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals. Learn more at FanDuelSportsNetwork.com.
Today, the Cards, the Phillies.
Ameren Total Access 620.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The Bernie Miklasz Report is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. The great Bernie Miklasz joins us. Bern, good to talk to you. How's your week been?
It's been good, busy. I like it that way, and interesting Cardinal season. See the Blues, head to the finish line. It's just really good stuff.
So I have a couple of thoughts on the Cardinals record. I want to run it by you. Wheels and I were kind of talking about this at lunch, and this is no great genius. Call Gould.
Break the story.
It would be so easy for us playing so many close games to be 7-5 or even 8-4. But then the next, what follows the comma is, but that's what separates decent teams from really good teams is they win the majority of those close games.
Yeah, and the reason why the Cardinals, didn't finish with a losing record last year is they had the best record in the National League in one-run games, and they only lost one game all year where they had the lead after eight innings.
Mm-hmm.
So they were winning those great games. Though they won a really good share of those kind of games that could very much go either way, and that's the difference between 83 and 79, or maybe 79 and 83. This season so far, it's only 12 games, but listen, that trend's working against them. It's amazing they've already had 4 extra inning games, but what's also as amazing is they've lost all 4. See, that's the kind of tipping point games that you're talking about.
Yeah.
If they had gone 2-2 in those extra innings games, right?
Yeah.
Their record would definitely be better right now. So yeah, that's a tough thing to do early in the season is lose 4 extra innings games. 4 of their 7 losses are extra innings games. That's tough.
So that last game was like, it would look like the Savannah Bananas playing out there. How obviously some interesting coaching choices and sending Ciani and taking Fetty out. Just how much do you put on the coaches? How much do you say like, it's baseball the way she goes?
No, Pop Warner's decision to send Ciani was ridiculous. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Ciani's fast, but he wasn't even at third base by the time Tommy Pham, who's got a good arm, picked up the ball. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Listen, I did a video about this at Sports Hub, STL. I really was thinking about that game for a couple days, and the more I thought about it, the more it bugged me. Because that's a kind of game, if you want to be taken seriously, that's a kind of game you have to win. And I know people want to get home. I know it's been it was a rough road trip, rain delays, washout, a doubleheader, taking a beating from the Red Sox. But you have a chance after coming out flat on Monday night in Pittsburgh and losing that. And then you beat Paul Skeens, which should have had everyone fired up to just sprint to the baseball park the next day.
Yeah.
But with a chance to win the series and end the road trip on a high note, listen, there was no energy with that team. There was no urgency. The at-bats were terrible. The pitching was great, which made the loss even more frustrating. It's 47 batters went to the plate. They only had 3 walks. I mean, they just weren't working the counts. They weren't working the pitchers. And I'm like, man, I know you're tired, but my goodness, most of those hitters are young dudes. You can't be tired 12 games into a season. I was really disappointed with that. Really disappointed.
Yeah, I think there was a lot to it, and it's all magnified when you don't hit. And this is a team that was the first clunker of an offensive game, and that's the other kind of frightening part, right? Is the offense has been one of the best in Major League Baseball through 12 games, and you're 5-7. So if that calms, which it's going to, just by the odds, it's going to calm at least a little bit. Boy, you're really going to need the pitching to pick it up.
Yeah, it already is. The offense has kind of settled in a little bit. Some of the things are starting to go the other way, like their contact rate and things like that. But no, they more than anything, they got to get their pitching together. And the only way they do that is they got to get better starts. And guys who are capable of giving them more innings need to give them more innings. I mean, when Matthew Liberatore is leading your team in terms of innings per start, he's the only guy that's averaged over 6 innings.
Yeah.
All the other guys have come up pretty short, and that's only going to put more pressure, more strain on your bullpen. And but the team ERA is terrible, both starters and relievers. If they don't straighten out that trend, then it's going to be a long season because they're not going to be able to overcome that.
Yeah. See, it's interesting because if you look at the fewest total innings from starting pitchers in baseball. I think the Cardinals are like sixth worst, but it's very close when you're down there. Well, the Dodgers are right there with them, but what's the difference? Well, the Dodgers have 3 MVPs in their lineup, and they have a much more stable and deep lineup with proven players, right? They also have the deepest and most versatile bullpen in the sport. Right. So, like, if they're going to go 5 and dive, essentially, they're going to get by. Because, first of all, those 5 are from guys that are Cy Young contenders and elite guys like like Yamamoto, eventually Ohtani and Glass, now these guys. And the bullpen is loaded and deep and good. And the Cardinals bullpen so far hasn't shown that.
Well, I was kind of a nag all off season telling people, listen, there's just no way they're going to be able to repeat the bullpen performance we saw in 2024. I did a study on it, and long story short, when a bullpen is great one year and you return most of the guys, there is always a regression, and sometimes it's a bad regression. So I try to warn everyone, it's not going to happen again this year. Not that I thought it would be a bad bullpen,
right.
But there's no way they could approximate what that bullpen did last season. It just doesn't work that way because relievers are up and down from year to year. You just never know.
So Matt Pauley and I were talking about this yesterday, Bern. We're looking ahead to these coming series against Philly and Houston and the Mets and then eventually the Braves. Those are the next handful of series. There are almost no games when you look down the pitching matchups where you're like the Cardinals have the better pitcher. The only ones that are even in that conversation are when Sonny Gray is pitching. So, like, Sonny's next start will be against Houston facing Valdez, Framber Valdez, who's one of the best. So that's kind of an equal one. But Palante and Nola is not going to favor the Cardinals. Michaelis and Sanchez, Christopher Sanchez is really good for the Phillies. Zach Wheeler and Matthew Liberatore. Hunter Brown next week and Eric Fetty. There just aren't many on the list for the next 2 weeks where you're like, yep, the Cardinals have the advantage of the starting pitcher.
Can I ask you guys, we're not in the middle of the season, but we're in the midst of the season. How many more times does Michaelis have to crap the bed before they would make a change?
It's really a preposterous situation. Number one, and I'm gonna be the cranky guy here. Okay, is that all right?
I love when you're the cranky guy.
Yes.
I am so tired of my friends in the St. Louis media who cover baseball either directly or just in some capacity, and they do a really good job and they work hard. I am so tired of these people referring to Miles Michaelis as an innings eater. His last 12 starts, you got to go back to August last season. That's when the trend changed. And I track trends. Trends tell me everything. His last 12 starts, he's averaged like 4.5 innings per start. Not even 5 innings. And his ERA in his last 12 starts is 6.99. And also the lowest strikeout rate among starting pitchers over that time, and the worst swing and miss rate. So even the thing that people want to give him credit for, he's an innings eater, it's completely false. He's not. He used to be. He's not that guy anymore. So what is the value of having him in the rotation? The value, frankly, is nothing. I'm sorry to be that way, but it's nothing.
Yep. And I don't know what they will do. This is the hard part, right? And look, I think when you guys talked about this on Tuesday with Ali Marmol, there is a part of what he's saying there that really does make sense, in that anybody you jettison now cannot help you the rest of the year. But then again, the counter to that is, but if a guy's losing for you,
they also don't hurt you.
They're right. So there's kind of like a balance of I understand not wanting to be without pitching depth, but it's not pitching depth if it's one of the worst pitchers in baseball. That's just losing games for you.
Am I crazy that I would rather have Graceffo or McGreevy any day over Michaelis?
No, and look, you could argue Steven Matz deserves a shot over him. Why not flip those roles at the very least if we have another bad start or two?
I would take Matz.
Yeah.
I would definitely take McGreevy.
Yeah.
I would take Graceffo because it's one of those years where we're supposed to be finding out about some of your younger guys.
Right.
And I'm not like overly impressed by Graceffo, but that doesn't mean we've seen everything he can do. He hasn't had much of an opportunity. So no, they just have this tendency, they're paying him, they're going to play him. And that's as simple as that. But the reason that they have sort of fabricated to justify keeping him around, that's why I'm here to be the cranky guy, because I have debunked that. It's nonsense. Yeah. He no longer pitches deep into games.
it's not even arguable. Like that's the part that's kind of like, okay, this is not a new. If Miles Michaelis had been what he used to be within the last year, these would all be valid points, right? Like, because then we would be able to say this is early. It's, you got to give it time, but it's a continuation of the last 2 seasons.
No doubt about it. And I'm looking.
That's really the core of the issue. And then does it become that? And this is what fans ask about all the time, Burn. So we'll just address this because I know a lot of fans are listening and asking themselves: is he just getting these opportunities because he makes money?
Yeah, basically. And they, so he's basically occupying a space that could be going to Michael McGreevy. And I don't think there's any question McGreevy would give them a better chance to be competitive.
Another thing that I've noticed too, and this isn't just Pop Warner, that was one call, but from my seat in the bleachers, it looks like we're not a very good base running team. We have some guys that can steal, but like especially Donovan, I've seen him make some pretty boneheaded plays. As much as I love him,
he did go on a couple of kind of wild hair runs. I didn't know what he was doing. He was trying to make something happen, which I appreciate, but I think he's smarter than that, and I think he'll maybe dial it back a little bit. But I think what we saw the other day, there's no excuse for Nolan Arenado to not be alert for a ground ball, but hit the third base and get tagged out. I didn't know what poor Thomas Saggese was supposed to do exactly because that was such a weird play. But the whole Pop Warner thing with Siani was ridiculous. I think one thing the Cardinals are doing well, though, when they're not getting thrown out, they're doing some of the things really well, like consistently scoring from second base on a single. Like they've been doing that better than most teams. So they're doing the quieter base running better, but the mistakes kind of give it a taint.
Yeah,
I think generally they're pretty good running the bases, but it's been a bad run. I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah, and again, Matt and I talked about this the other day. I think it needs to be repeated more than once. The umpires blew that. That's obstruction. It is the absolute rule book definition of obstruction. You cannot block the path of a runner without the ball unless you are in the process of trying to field the ball. But in that case, they had failed to field the ball. The ball was no longer there for them to field, but they were in the way. It's obstruction. And umpires are cowards. They just won't call it because they're afraid of people being mad at them. But that's obstruction. It just is. And it's not why they lost. They might have still blown that lead. But it just, what else can the player do? That's what obstruction's for, is to keep players from being in that position.
I can't remember the last time I saw something that crazy. That was so strange.
Well, we had remember the one in the playoffs, Burn? Which was that situation? It was at third base with the Cardinals, and there was like a slot.
Alan Craig
play. That's what it was. Yeah.
Against the Red Sox in the World Series.
Right.
Yeah. That was a weird play too, but the umpires at least intervened and got it right.
Yes, they did.
Burn, tell us about Saliga before we let you go for the weekend.
And I will. And before I do that, I want to wish everybody Dave Glover Show, and everybody listens to the Dave Glover Show. I want to wish them a very great weekend. So, my friends at Saliga Heating and Cooling, Dan Saliga is the owner, operator, fourth generation of the great business. He's there to help you, and they've been helping St. Louis since 1927. And they're really, really, really excellent at what they do, or they wouldn't be around in 2025 after opening the doors in 1927. I mean, it's a great family tradition. There's a lot of pride, a lot of care put in. They want to uphold this excellent reputation that they've had for nearly 100 years. So this independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer will take care of you, whether you have an emergency, whether maybe your equipment's making some strange noise, you don't know what it is, you want to get it checked. Maybe your heat's not quite pumping out the nice warm heat enough. Air conditioning, it's not blowing enough cold air. Sometimes things just need like a minor checkup, and it can be solved without much of a hassle or without much of expense. So that's why I want to recommend the Priority Club, which is a preventive maintenance program. And what they do, they'll come to your home a couple times a year, and they'll just check your equipment just to make sure everything's running the way it should be. They'll adjust what needs to be adjusted. They'll tweak whatever needs to be tweaked. If there's a minor problem, they can fix it on the spot. It's not going to cost you hardly anything. and you can keep your equipment safer and you can keep it operating and functioning well for a longer period of time through this maintenance program. And then you're going to save money in the long run. You're also going to have the peace of mind knowing that everything's good, but they'll take care of you. Their honesty is superb, and they're never going to upsell you or hustle you or try to talk you into something. And they're reliable and they're professional. And I could just go on, but you get the points. Saliga Heating and Cooling, with this independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealership, they're just the best that there is. So give them a call or go to their site. You can find out everything you need to know. Go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, including the phone number. That's SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Spring is here. Time for daffodils and road construction. Do your part to avoid a work zone crash. Pay attention, slow down, put the phone down while driving so we can all go home safe. Join the 11th Annual St. Louis Work Zone Awareness 5K, Saturday, April 19th in Chesterfield. Sign up today at kinghamox.com/events. That's kinghamox.com/events. Brought to you by the Missouri Coalition of Roadway Safety.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet. Mike has been with me since my 2nd month on the air. He is a very good guy. He's a very straightforward guy. He's an interesting guy in his personal life. He's huge into rock and roll and a big Kiss fan and just a really fun guy to talk to. But when it comes to his work life, he keeps things as simple as possible. He said, look, Dave, and this is 24 years ago, he said this to me. So I didn't go into the flooring business because I wanted to be complicated. I didn't go into the flooring business because I wanted a complex life. I did it because I wanted a simple life. And why go into a simple business where you have all the major brands and you have an entry level, you have a mid level, you have a luxury level? That's really simple. That's like 3 things to remember from maybe 5 different brands of carpeting and hardwood and so forth. So I'm not going to complicate my life by lying to people. I'm not going to complicate my life by fudging and being fraudulent about something just to make an extra $100 per project. So he'll tell you the truth. He'll try to save you money if he can. He's probably had 10,000 people from the DGS now over the 24 years, 3 locations around town, Weston, St. Charles, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for listening on the new FM. Thank you for podcasting. How are all the ways they can listen now? AM, FM, Odyssey.com, Spotify, Apple. It's kind of hard to avoid us if you're really thinking about it.
It's true.
Kind of everywhere.
We're everywhere.
A naked man on a highway was stopped by the police, and when they asked him what he was up to, he said, "I'm going to get some pants."
Well, what else?
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah. Pretty valid.
I mean, what else are you going to say that would be like, well, all right, I guess.
Go about his way.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but, maybe get him some pants.
When you break wind, it travels out at about 10 feet per second.
Huh. Okay.
Which is about 7 miles an hour.
Oh, that seems low.
You think you can beat that, do you?
I probably could.
I feel bad for the doctors or scientists who were in charge of this.
Right.
Stat.
Oh,
Something's gone wrong in their career.
I bet they were laughing the whole time.
Yeah, but they got to be near stinky farts.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just doing it themselves.
Hopefully they had lighters.
Like you're a scientist. You're a PhD, but you're studying farts.
Yeah.
Right?
I bet that's a choice. I bet that's not made. You're not made to do that. That's a passion.
Passion project.
I got nothing.
Okay. That's all right.
Let's just play Van Halen.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. It's real simple. It is a multivitamin. You probably took Flintstone vitamins or one a days when you were a kid. This is just a better version of that. A friend of mine, he wasn't my friend at the time. I met him through Neovitin, but Dr. Ken Ribicki was my doctor and my very good friend, and he beat pancreatic cancer, which anyone who's ever faced that, it's like a less than 1% chance of survival, and he beat it. Not because of Neovitin, because it didn't exist at the time, but he created it while he was fighting pancreatic cancer so that he could continue to practice medicine and run and things like that. Once he got a clean bill of health, he manufactured it. He and his son Tommy, who was just a little sprite of a thing, who's now the CEO, came in. This is probably 18 years ago. They were in a couple of mom and pop pharmacies. Now they're at Schnucks and Deerbergs, and they're in grocery stores all over the Midwest. Real St. Louis success story. So buy a bottle. It's less than $1 a day. A portion of that is going to go to cancer research in honor of Dr. Ribicki. And if you don't feel better after that month, then just never buy it again. Again, Schnucks and Deerbergs locally, online at neovitin.com.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. I just want to make sure that you don't miss out on an amazing opportunity. You need new windows, right? Well, Window Nation has an amazing special going on right now where you could buy 4 and get 4 free. There's no limit to how much you could save. And if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door as well. And no payments, no interest for 2 years. Call them today and have them come out and give you a free estimate and get going on those new windows you know you want and need. It's Window Nation, 866-90Nation, or visit them online at windownation.com.
This month, Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight is testicular cancer. Dr. Woodson Smelser.
Yeah, so the first step is to talk to your doctor, and generally they would order imaging of the testicle and look for actual tumor, and oftentimes they will do an examination or send you to a urologist to have an examination. And I find that the place where a lot of times men have some hesitance or trepidation, obviously, because it seems like it may be an invasive exam, but that's an exam that could save your life.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky, 57 degrees. It feels like 50 downtown at the Arch. Long-standing fences around City Hall and at Downtown Park meant to keep homeless people from camping there are now gone.
It feels a lot more welcoming.
The fences were put up after violence in homeless encampments nearly 2 years ago. Signs on them said closed for restoration of the grass. Just a day ago, Mayor-elect Spencer said it's time for the barricades to come down. But Mayor Jones' Chief of Staff, Jared Boyd, says the reason they're taking them away now is because the grass has indeed been restored. This downtown worker disagrees.
I never once saw fertilization or any gardening or any type of, attempt to fertilize, to restore this grass area. It looks pretty much the same.
St. Louis City is currently not involved in the state-funded Regional Police Training Center set to be built. Could that change? St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman is hopeful that newly elected Mayor Kara Spencer could express more interest. He believes the state-appointed board member set to eventually take control of the city police department would also be interested.
I'm pretty sure that the people that the governor appoints to the police commission in the city, I'm pretty sure they're going to be interested in this.
The governor has fewer than 90 days to make those appointments. An incoming St. Louis school board member says she wants to know why the previous board picked a new superintendent so close to the election.
Dr. Millicent Borshade served as interim superintendent after the dismissal of Superintendent Keisha Scarlett. The district did not conduct a search. Veteran educator and administrator Dr. Karen Collins Adams was elected to the school board this week and says she has many questions about that appointment.
I'm interested in why we wish to be able to do that. And then what does Dr. Borshade bring to the district that would actually get us to move forward?
Collins Adams says she's concerned the district could lose accreditation if finances aren't in order. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The president wants the country to stick with one time.
President Donald Trump is not a fan of the semi-annual time change in the U.S., saying it's unpopular, inconvenient, and costly. Now Trump is urging Congress to push hard for more daylight at the end of the day. Trump's social media post comes a day after a Senate panel heard testimony on the issue. Last month, Trump said he was 50-50 on making a change because parents are not fond of sending their kids to school in the dark in the morning. The president's current position, calling for more daylight at the end of the day, would push the schedule forward, keeping the country on its current schedule. Daylight savings time was first adopted as a wartime measure in 1942 and is still recognized in most parts of the country. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The KMOX Business Desk, President Trump's 145% tariff on goods from China means this 4th of July may cost you more.
99% of the black cats and bottle rockets and all of the other consumer-grade fireworks come from China. Julie Heckman with the American Pyrotechnics Association says anybody who sells fireworks had to place their order long before the tariff increases were announced.
To get on a vessel, you have to make that commitment and that booking way in advance. And then once you're in the queue, you can't cancel.
Because of the tariffs and the price increases, you'll likely be paying more for fireworks this summer. Russell Scott for CBS News, Dallas.
Let's get you an update of the St. Louis Business Index now to Stifel and Scott Link. Scott.
Good afternoon, Michael. Despite a plunge in consumer sentiment and additional retaliation tariffs from China, the report that moved markets today was the Producer Price Index, which fell by 0.4%, leading markets into green territory to end the week, with the Dow Jones rising 619 points to 40,212. The S&P 500 rose 95 to 5,363. The NASDAQ was up 337 points to 16,224. And the Bloomberg St. Louis Index was up 18 to 1,389. For stocks of local interest, the biggest gainers today were Bayer up 27 cents to $5.90, and Anheuser-Busch InBev rose $1.81 to $62.52, and the leading decliners were Caleres down 29 cents to $15.94, and Enterprise Financial Services fell 47 cents to $46.20. Finally, Stifel Financial was up $1.94 to $82.11. This has been Scott Link, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a stalled vehicle, 6440 going west at Ballas. That's on the right shoulder. Another stall, 55 going south at Richardson Road, and that's on the right shoulder as well.
Cool temperatures for us as we sail through our Friday afternoon. 57 for the high. That's a good 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. Kind of a changeable sky. Be optimistic. Call it a mix of clouds and sunshine. Clear skies tonight. It is cold. 37 for the overnight low. The weekend looks pretty good. Saturday, sunny skies. It's cool. 64 degrees. Saturday night, the full moon. The full pink moon. Partly cloudy skies. 47 for the overnight low Saturday night. Check out that moon, big and bright. Then on Sunday, sunny skies, warm it up to 75 Sunday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right now, we've got 57, feels like 50 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Learn more at DEATakeback.com.
Help keep our communities safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 26th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Friday to you. Welcoming our buddy Alvin Reed in from Donnybrook. And before we jump in with Alvin, let me just say something here. The reason we're having Alvin on outside of a think tank, in addition to the fact that we love Alvin, is that we really, truly do. I don't know if you guys notice this or appreciate it or believe it, but when we do politics, we really try to be fair and balanced. When I give my opinions, I give them unvarnished. not a fan of Trump. So Trump people probably think that that's a bunch of crap and I'm very biased, but we all give our opinions. But when we talk politics, we either have a conservative and a liberal on together, or like Elam was on yesterday and Alvin's on today. And so we really, really try to be the most fair and equitable political show that you're going to listen to. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, thank you, man.
Let's talk before we get into politics, a little bit of sports. You were talking about throwing out the first pitch, and I got to throw one out. Wheeler threw one out. I watched him throw. He wasn't nervous at all. I was nervous, but when I got on that mound and put my foot on the rubber, I don't know if I've ever been more nervous.
Okay, and it just turned out that like mine was on a Saturday night.
So you had a big crowd.
Oh, huge
See?
crowd. This is the old stadium too.
Yeah,
and I was fine, literally fine. And then when I was standing on the mound, I said, like, not necessarily this dirt, but I mean, Bob Gibson pitched from
In
this
that
spot.
spot. Yes, he did. Yeah.
And I just kind of thinking to myself, like, and he pitched when this place was full, and this place is full tonight.
Yeah.
So, no bouncer, no squibber. I let a rocket go.
Nice.
And Kerry Robinson.
Very
was
good.
Catching it.
Very
And
good.
He did have to come out of his stance and snag it, and he had dust in his glove a little bit,
And it popped?
and it popped, and the crowd went, ooh.
Nice. Very nice.
So I actually have I got a photo of it
I
and all
love
that. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't nervous, but all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that ball all of a sudden just had no weight when
Yeah.
I threw it. It was
Yeah.
just like it didn't weigh anything.
That's cool.
So anyway.
So I know you're a big sports guy, and it goes without saying with Wheeler. Wheels, I don't know if you noted the last comment we had on the stream, but I think it's very interesting, and I want to read it here. We were just talking about the Cardinals with Bernie Miklasz, and this person says, the thing about the Cardinals and the problem with the ball team is this: it doesn't matter. It's a game, a sport. These guys aren't building roads or connecting electrical lines or doing anything useful.
Except those games bring more money into downtown than literally anything else in downtown.
Actually, yes.
What else brings even 25,000 people downtown 81 times? And again, that's the low end 21,000, right? Like, it used to be 40,000 every night. It's a big business.
It's huge.
And therefore it matters. And you'll see it. You'll see it this year. So if the attendance is 2.5 million instead of 3.2 million, well, that's 700,000 people that didn't pay taxes on food or tickets, that didn't come down and pay for parking, that didn't come downtown at all and put their business here, and the city will notice it. So, no, you're right. Fans tend to over prioritize it. I showed you the meme. I sent you the meme.
You did.
I sent a meme today where it's a guy looking in the mirror and saying, I will not let the performance of my baseball team affect my mood every day for the next 7 months, right? Like people do that, but that team is a big deal for the city of St. Louis.
And, I don't know where the responder is exactly calling from, but I mean, for those of us, St. Louis is a place where I know people my age, we played baseball. Okay. I know people played soccer and I know people played football, but the majority of us played baseball. And it's the one sport that I always tell people that, like if the Cardinals, if the Yankees, if somebody called me up and said like, hey, you have to manage tonight, I could do it. And I don't care what anybody says. We might manage a football game. You know what I'm saying? Stand there and look at the coordinators and all that. People talk about hockey like they know actually what the hell's going on. So like, oh, coach the team tonight. Tell them when to change, players, all that. Nobody knows really but we know baseball. And I think that's why we gravitate toward baseball. Now, the Cardinals are our team. Are we spoiled with success with the Cardinals? Absolutely. And are we disappointed in how the last couple of years have gone? Absolutely. But at the same time, the emphasis that St. Louis puts on the Cardinals, there's no problem with that. We should be proud of that. Are we the best fans of baseball? I never really are the Dallas Cowboys America's team? No. Are we the best baseball fans in the major leagues? I would say no, only because that goes from place to place to place. I mean, you want to go to a game right now and you think the people are like insane about baseball, go to a game in Philadelphia. Okay. So, but how we appreciate our baseball team is important. And like you said, economic development wise, essential. But the fact that people love the Cardinals and want to talk about the Cardinals and talk about baseball and want to do it from February until October that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
And by the just based on that philosophy, well, then nothing matters. Movies don't matter. Concerts don't matter.
Good point.
And all of them do. Now, do they matter as much as the attention that they draw? Probably not. But they're big revenue producers, and revenue is what drives most people's thinking.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
point.
Good discussion. So sticking with downtown and taxes and people coming down, Mayor Jones to Mayor Spencer, guardedly optimistic, would you say?
Yeah. I mean, I said on the show last night, look, I'm not about that, and if you won, somebody else lost, I'm not going to hate on you or ask you to fail because maybe I wanted the other person to win. That's fine. Now, obviously, whatever thoughts you had about Tashara winning the mayoral election were eliminated back during the primary because you just knew that wasn't going to happen. So we'll see where we go from there. There've been some promises about, North St. Louis. There've been some promises about a lot of things. I will say this, regardless of what the situation was with SLDC, this whole Neil Richardson thing, look, you can replace them, but I would tell the new mayor that, like, hey, look, Neil Richardson got caught up in the cogs of this election. And I think that you go, like I said, here's a bright, young black fella who, you're going to cut loose from his job. And I think that he's going to be cut loose from his job because whatever was going on during this mayoral election. So I would tell her think twice, but I think she's already thought that over.
Yeah. Do you think that it's possible in the city of St. Louis for a mayor to both fill the potholes and move the city along in a progressive way vis-a-vis reparations or North City? Or do you think they need to really just focus on the infrastructure?
Well, you could do like the things that are kind of put in place in North City. Just make sure that the business development center that is at Sumner High School, which is helping keep Sumner High School open, by the way. Make sure that the things like that are already established keep funded and keep going. Now, I scoffed at the whole reparations thing a long time ago. That wasn't going to go anywhere. And if things like that go away, really nobody's going to miss them. But there are some things that are in place that need to be, that structurally we're working. The neighborhood programs that I don't know if they're reducing crime or not, but if you talk to James Clark at the Urban League and other people, they're still like, no, this is boots on ground trying to stop, shootings and murders before they happen and relocating people and, just doing things like that. It seems to be working. So let's try to keep things in place like that.
Wheels, what do you think?
No, I don't think if there's anything working, keep it or feed it and expand it. Right. I mean, whatever's working is great. And I think the thing that we talk about a lot, but again, our conversation is a lot more about downtown because it's what we see. But downtown is still the engine that's going to drive paying for those things in the future. And if downtown continues to go backward, well, then where is the funding for all of those things going to be in 10 years? So there's got to be that dual track, right? There has to be the track that says, how do we do more? How do we make it safer so that people want to be downtown, so that businesses want to be downtown? How do we make the roads so that we're not going to wreck everybody's cars when they're coming to work downtown? How do you do that and the other stuff at the same time? And I think they work together, but they have to work together with the idea that we have to pay for things long term, so we need to generate revenue that's going to allow us to do that.
And we're about to lose revenue.
Right, and you're not going to have this special money that they have right now forever.
Right.
You got all the ARPA money, and you've got the Rams money, and you got that's separate, I think, from what we're talking about.
Right, and then you're going to lose some federal funding for a lot of different things too.
Right.
So there'll be less.
No, good
money.
point. Yeah, good point.
There'll be less money, and you mentioned that the kind of progressive agenda. Things like that, like investment, like sound investment in things that are in North City. That's not necessarily progressive. That's look, half the city. This has been stated by different, but look, half the city cannot get an F if you want the city to get an A.
Yeah, amen.
Right.
I mean, that's just that can't work. So whatever is decided, you got to figure out something to
That is such a great point. And I'm a little bit ashamed I never thought of it in quite those terms, because so many people think of it as, well, we're doing these people a favor. Here we are again, carrying them. But they're as much a part of the city as Rach is a part of the city.
Yeah. And that's just it. You just take, I always say, when we talk on the show, right, take whatever the not the cause, but take whatever the individual thing is, take it out. So how do you address it? Case in point, the art student that got thrown off the campus at WashU or whatever, and was heavy Palestinian message. Well, just decide, take the Palestinian part out of it. Kid with art that someone feels is objectionable. How do you respond to that? Take the issue out, but how do you respond to that? Same thing.
What if it's MAGA?
Yeah, right. What's MAGA? What if it's this? Take the issue out of it. All right, is this how we want to handle the situation? All right, take race, take this out of psychology, sociology, take all that out of it. How do we get this part of the city to be like funding technically itself with a tax base and with people working and all that? Because that will help the city, the entire city. So,
Rach, your thoughts?
Those are the things that, I wish we could fix that tomorrow.
Makes no sense.
I mean, don't we need more people moving there? Wouldn't that be a great solution to the tax issue that Alvin just brought up?
Yeah, and
can't you incentivize people to do that? It's like if there's an abandoned building, like either tear it down or build something else.
There has to be.
Yeah, there's a path there somewhere where we just don't take those paths.
We don't take those paths. I'm old enough to remember, and we talked about this on Donnybrook one time about Lafayette Square, and
perfect example.
Somebody sent us a letter that said, like, you're wrong, Alvin. There was no public money put in that. And I said, I did not say that on the show. What I said was people were incentivized to say, like, okay, you can buy this property for a dime on a dollar, but you have to sign a promissory note to put at least like $30,000-$40,000 in it. Well, in the late 70s, $30,000-$40,000 was like some money. All right. So that's what you do. Say, like, hey, it's yours for a nominal fee. And here's the loan with low interest, but you have to, put this into it. You have to bring it up to this level of standard. And then not only before, I think with Lafayette Square, before it was launched technically into individuals, they waited until like 3/4 of the properties on a block were committed to.
Yeah.
And that way it changed an entire block at a time.
Yeah.
Not just one house. All right. But if the whole block changes, then somebody comes along and says, like, well, if the whole block is okay, then maybe I could live here. Maybe I could, now schools, all that's another problem.
Yeah.
But at least you're fixing things like one block at a time.
Incremental gains.
Incremental gains.
Tell us about Donny Fest.
Oh, Donny Blast.
Donny Blast.
May 8th coming up. We always have a blast.
Sold out?
Pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. We got tickets for you.
A few tickets.
You know that.
Few
yeah.
tickets.
I can take care of I know people.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you know Charlie Brennan.
No, pretty close. Pretty close. Right. Close enough. I want to pop him one every now and then. No, I'm kidding. But no, coming up on May 8th. And, Sarah Finsky and Joe Holloman are, they rotate weekly in place of Ray, but they're both going to be on stage.
Good.
So
I'm there this year, brother.
all right. So we have 6 people. So I won't have to talk as much.
And you went last year, Rach?
I did. It was very, very fun.
Right.
Highly recommend.
The drinks are cold and the food is pretty good.
And we're talking about how you and I have both sullied that rarefied stage.
Yes, I literally, when I'm in the green room, I think to myself, like, okay, right. Oh, what was the last concert you saw? I saw Gordon Lightfoot there.
Nice.
About 3 years ago, I think it was. And I've seen other shows there. And, and I know this because, like, look for our list of people that actually were on the stage at the Sheldon. Albert Einstein. People like this. And I'm like, here I am. Right.
You've done something right or they've done something wrong.
No, I was going to say, like, I don't know. Society has changed. Right.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Anytime.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hop into spring with Lombardo Homes at our citywide Easter scavenger hunt. Join us Saturday, April 12th from 12 to 4 p.m. at any Lombardo display home in St. Charles and mid-Missouri. Start your hunt, search for hidden items, and earn entries for our grand prize, $1,000 in Visa gift cards. Plus, snap a selfie with the Easter Bunny at Cottleville Trails from 1 to 4. Pups welcome too. Don't miss golden eggs, bonus prizes, and a whole lot of festive fun. Find your starting point at lombardohomes.com and let the hunt begin. Sponsored by Lombardo Homes. Some restrictions apply.
So, how do I put this? Sometimes I marvel at what a no-brainer some of my clients are, like Ophthalmology Associates and the Cornea and Laser Vision Institute, that you can go to a Doc in the Box in a mega store where people are buying rotisserie chickens and vats of pickles and get your eyes checked. I know you can do that. But for the same money, you can go to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. My doctor, Dr. Birdie, Dr. Moholtra, Dr. Brusati, Dr. Royer, these guys are doing surgeries. They're doing LASIK procedures. They're doing cataract removals. So they certainly can handle your comprehensive eye exam or your child or your elderly loved one to rule out cataracts or, God forbid, something like narrow angle glaucoma that runs in my family. I can't go to a Doc in the Box because I have to have a real medical doctor, that's what an ophthalmologist is, do my my eye care. So they couldn't be nicer. The staff couldn't be better. The smiles are genuine. The compassion is real. To make an appointment, call 314-966-5000 or visit youridoc.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Anderson is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Find out why Renewal by Anderson has the most 5-star reviews in St. Louis at rbastl.com or call 314-332-1957, rbastl.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Wheels got a stairway in you?
Sure. Let's do it. I got a couple different things we can do. Let's see. Which one did I want to do first? All right, let's do this this golf one because it's Masters Week. Because this is one of my favorite things in the world is to troll my friends that love golf and just make fun of it, especially Masters Week, because they get so mad and they never realize that I'm messing with them.
Boy, they get worked up.
Golf people are really sensitive. And I'm like, I was picking on some guys earlier. Like, I don't know if you caught the stuff in advance of the Masters, but Rory McIlroy, and I think it was Morikawa. They were talking about how, well, we don't have to answer questions from the media. We just choose to. And if we walk away, that's fine. Like, okay, but you're still soft if you walk away after a bad round. You're still soft because other professional athletes have no choice. They have to do it. Just because it's not in the rules saying you have to do it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Right? I mean, and, I think they get a little bit too in their feelings about that stuff. Like, look, it sucks. It sucks to lose. It sucks to perform poorly. It's the same for every athlete. But I'm watching 18-year-olds playing college basketball, and when they have a bad day, they still answer questions. I mean, like, I get that. But what I like to do, though, is like, I should pull it up because it's probably a little bit too hard to get to. But yesterday, a couple of guys were talking about golf, and I'm like, here's golf. And I'm exaggerating. I was doing this to troll my friends. I realize how difficult golf is. But you get up to the tee box, you tee up the ball, and then you take a couple fake swings, and then you flinch a couple times, and then you hit the ball, and then you take a leisurely walk to where that ball is, and then you eyeball it for a little bit, pick a new club, take 3 fake swings, a couple more flinches, and you hit the ball, and you take a leisurely walk back to the ball, and you just keep on repeating that. And then on the green, it's just, I love the routine. It's like, I'm going to walk around the green so I can scope it out. And then I'm going to squat like a catcher behind the ball and lean each way so I can see which way the blades of grass are leaning.
Boy, he's making people mad right now.
I know.
I know, man.
Michael Kelly just got in his Rivian.
And look.
I hope David Murray's not listening.
And again, this is what I do to my friends to troll them. I know it's a difficult game, and those guys are amazing at what they do. But it's kind of funny when you think about it.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If you have exposed brick or stone in your garage, basement, or fireplace, this would be a great time to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. The Morelli team can work 12 months a year on the inside of your home. Tuck pointing is the removal and replacement of old and missing mortar on a wall or chimney. When you tuck point your home, you strengthen your structure, you prevent water damage, and you add value to your property. The Morelli team is expert at matching the color of the new mortar to the color of the old mortar. And I know because the Morellis have tuck-pointed patios, walls, and chimneys at 2 of our homes here in St. Louis. Morelli is a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award and the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. You can also research their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. Morelli Tuck Pointing at 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, it's slow on a Friday, but it's not terrible, thankfully. It's busy out in the Wentzville area this afternoon. If you're going home westbound on 64 headed that way, it's slow from Kings Highway out to McCausland. There's a little busy traffic, Spady to Ballas. And then approaching Winghaven out to 70, pretty much bumper to bumper. Westbound 70, you've got slow stuff at the city limits, so like Riverview through Jennings Station. There's a little backup. Cypress to Lindbergh, 270 to the Blanchette. From 79 out through almost Bryan Road all the way to 61, it's busy. And 61, both directions, actually southbound's a little backed up. Northbound slow, approaching a point about midway between Wentzville Parkway and Flint Hill, so that's a little unusual. At least it's not a complete jam. South 270, bogs down from Page to Ladue, from 64 to Manchester, but after that it looks great down to Highway 55. Northbound 170, Scudder Airport Road, just a little busy. South 170 is clear. Southbound 55, Arsenal, south of Arsenal down to Bates, and then approaching Highway Z, just a couple of slowdowns downtown. Westbound 44 past the Poplars, heavy. Westbound 64 from the 70 split across the bridge, you've got delays. And there's still a backup eastbound 70, east of 270 in the Troy area, headed into that emergency repair zone before Route 4. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
If it's gonna rain, I want to know.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hey Cardinals fans, there are more ways to watch your Cardinals this season on FanDuel Sports Network. Watch FanDuel Sports Network through your TV provider or, for the first time, subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals. Learn more at FanDuelSportsNetwork.com.
Setting goals for retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, tune in to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Today,
the Cards, the Phillies.
Cameron Total Access 620.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said. Call Jerry Kelly, man, JerryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late. JerryKelly.com.
Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. It's clearing up out there. It's going to be a pretty night at the ballpark.
Nice.
Did you bring a jacket or a wrap?
I did bring a jacket. Nice.
We're all going to the game tonight. Rachel's going with Kurt. My son Nick is taking me and Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cats in the cradle.
Yeah.
Look at him taking me places.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Dave Murray's weather is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning and Electrical.
And Dave's out today.
He's out, but we do have a live look if
Okay.
you'd like to hear that. Let me get it pulled up here.
Could not be with you live today, but I want to give you an update for the weather as we sail through the weekend. And primarily what we're looking at is a pretty quiet weather pattern, but the temperatures will be jumping up and down on us. We had that cold front come through yesterday, and that's why we were cooler today. And we're going to be kind of cold overnight. Clear skies, big bright moon out there. The full moon is Saturday night, known as the pink moon, but we're going down to 37 degrees. And in some of the outlying areas, there could be some spotty frost. I don't think it's a widespread frost situation, but certainly below average temperatures. The weekend continues to look great. Saturday, plenty of sunshine, though it is a cool day. A little bit below average, not by much, but 64 for the high. Obviously, it'll be a cold start in the morning on Saturday. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies. Should get a great look at that big, bright full moon, 47 degrees. Sunday, sunny. It's warmer. Pretty good jump in temperature Sunday afternoon, 75 degrees. So we're kind of cool on Saturday. Warm, nice on Sunday. Just a slight chance of a couple of showers on Monday. There's another cold front coming through. And as a result, we are really looking at a fast pace in the atmosphere, and that's going to continue right through next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Again, enjoy that big, bright full moon. Talk to you on Monday.
Headlines, Rach.
Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. Haven't talked about Brian Kohberger in a while. Of course, he is the accused.
God, just hearing his name gives me chills.
Yeah, you could just see his blank stare. Well, he is the alleged murderer in the Idaho college murders, but the words psychopath and sociopath have been banned from his trial.
Wow.
There was someone else. Maybe it was Nicholas Cruz. They were trying to say he had like no soul and all this stuff and calling him names during his trial too. I think I'm fine with banning stuff like that in the courtroom because they haven't been proven guilty yet, right? I mean, it's a bit of a stretch to be like, hey, we haven't proven you guilty, but you're a sociopath.
I would say that if you have a psychiatrist on the stand and they diagnose him as a psychopath, that's okay with me.
Yeah.
If it's just an attorney saying this guy's a psychopath, then I would agree with you.
Yeah. Good. When you have somebody with expertise using a clinical diagnosis, totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Otherwise, though, who's to stop anybody from saying anything?
Right.
Right. This was a very sad story. Happened yesterday. A New York City sightseeing helicopter plunged into the Hudson River, killing 6 people, including a family and the pilot, even a child just before their 9th birthday. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board.
We had a plane crash again today.
Really?
It's crazy.
Yeah, the pilot of the helicopter was recently retired Navy SEAL.
Wow.
So obviously, this is not someone who is inexperienced in
Yes.
doing things.
Yes.
Elon Musk has lowered Doge's projected savings from $1 trillion to $150 billion. That's quite the gap.
I say, what's that? Is that like 1/8 of what they said?
I mean, it's a significant reduction. We'll put it that way. His previous goal was in the trillions, and now he's saying, "Oh, we'll be able to do 150 billion." It doesn't seem like things are going so well for Elon.
And then, okay, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth because I have always, and certainly for as long as I've been on the air, said that the federal government is a big bloated octopus that
Yes.
needs to be cut down.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they did it, I'm not sure if 150 billion, which is something that we would, in a year just write checks to other countries for, was worth the human carnage of Americans, right? I've not heard a single case of fraud.
There's
Fraud
been
is
no charges brought against any single person or group of people based on what they found.
Fraud is a legal term of art. Now, waste, sure.
Yeah.
Duplicated jobs, yes. But just going in and saying, like, all you guys are fired. Those are real people, and they are American people. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, when look, this kind of gets into the courtroom thing we were just talking about. If you are doing something on behalf of the United States government, or you work in the United States government and you use the term fraud, you better produce fraud.
Better back it up.
Don't just use terms that will fire up the people that agree with you so that they're like, see, because fraud is a crime. It is an absolutely prosecutable crime. And if you're finding actual fraud, then why are we not seeing any charges being brought?
And for example, did you know that Washington University right here in St. Louis gets the second most amount of federal grants in the whole country? Yes. Like $683 million that they're going to lose almost all of. Now, we can debate whether an institution with 20, 30, 40 billion in its endowment needs any federal money, but these are the kind of cuts that they're making, and that hits very close to home.
Well, here's the part about this that's fascinating. So a lot of what's being cut are things that these universities are doing, researching projects, say, for the military, or they're researching things that can help the government implement certain policies. So this has happened at Northwestern. It happened, I forget which, it might have been Cornell or Penn, but specifically the programs that were going to be cut were programs that were studying things that can help the U.S. military. Is that so? That's waste now,
right?
We're trying to innovate so that the military has whatever it is, the best technology, the best information, whatever it ends up being.
I get it. If you're studying whether porpoises can be gay, like, okay, that seems kind of silly. But if you're working on military projects or disease, Alzheimer's, things like that, maybe, take a couple breaths before you cut that.
Well, in the spirit of not saying things unless you can prove them, Dave Portnoy says he regrets Barstool Sports' role in the vicious rumor that an Ole Miss student says ruined her life. Wheels talked about this last week. A college freshman, Mary Kate Cornett, says her life has been ruined after a false rumor was spread about her and her boyfriend's father. Dave Portnoy has issued an apology expressing regrets. I just wonder, Does it, for Barstool's part in the problem? I just wonder, would you be issuing this apology if you weren't getting sued?
No. And he better be getting ready to write a fat check, too.
Well, he also shouldn't be saying anything, which, let me just be fair and balanced. I hate Portnoy, and I hate him mostly out of jealousy because he's much more successful than me, and I don't think he's that talented. But I will give him credit. Making that admission is a terrible admission against interest. If I were his lawyer, I would be having kittens right now. But what he said, because I watched it, what he said was, whether it was legally wrong, I don't know, but it was morally wrong. And I applaud him as a human for doing that.
Oh, that is nice.
Well, he also might already be in talks about settling.
Sure.
I mean, he may already know what the number's going to be.
And it could be completely performative that he thinks that's going to, save him a few $1 million.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see how ESPN handles this, too, because it was really the big patient zero, essentially, was Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And Pat McAfee technically is not an ESPN employee, but they air his show on their airwaves, which makes them partially responsible. So you got those two parties involved. And everything after that was kind of like the Barstools and other sites kind of taking what was put out on ESPN by Pat McAfee and running with it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't understand in sports why we need to go to that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand there are things that impact someone's draft prospects that are not necessarily between the lines, but who cares? First of all, you should verify that it's true. There should be some kind of step-by-step. You're like, somebody tells you this, you're like, oh, really? So how do I know this? How do I go to the air with this knowing that it's true? Then on top of that, you have the argument, even if you found out it's true, should you be talking about the sex life of an 18-year-old college student on your TV show?
Yeah.
I mean, there's two parts to it, right? I mean, first, you should verify that it's not just a rumor being spread by someone who's mad at someone else. Secondly, then you have the conversation, is this even worth going on the air with, even if it's provably true?
What I really hate to see is when nobodies turn into somebodies because they do something stupid and asinine and hurtful and get attention, and then they come out smelling like a rose.
Yeah.
That's what I really have a real distaste for that.
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing that's going to take back what the young woman has had to go through as far as being mocked and ridiculed on campus, and the whole country knows who she is. And even if now you're finding out it's not true, it's still how people are going to associate you. I hope she gets to be ridiculously wealthy out of this.
Yeah, she will.
Let's do one more story here before we go to break. The Oscars are adding a new award. After many years of calls for Oscars to recognize the art of the stunt, the Film Academy has decided to give it an official award in the 100th Academy Awards, which will recognize films released in 2027. They will be doing Achievement in Stunt Design Oscars. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Speaking of sports, let me tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy app. So I was introduced to this. I heard Tom Ackerman doing lives for them, I don't know, a couple months ago. And then they came to me and asked if I would be interested. And I said yes. And they hooked me up with the app and taught me how to use it, which honestly took 3 minutes. Andrew and I play it. We were setting our picks at lunch today. I do a lot of baseball. I do a lot of the Cardinals and the Royals because I'm fans, and it just enhances the game experience for me. And I've won some money doing it. And basically, it's like this. I think tonight, well, heck, I could probably pull it up for you here if you give me just a second. You just look at a specific player, and then you look at the specific stat that Underdog is listing. And, okay, here's what I picked for tonight. I picked that Victor Scott would have 1 total base or more. So he gets a walk, he gets a hit. Same for Lars Nootbaar, same for Schwarber because he's playing in the game tonight, and same for Nolan Arenado. I put down $25. If I win, I get 120, 130, something like that. You can win up to 1,000 times if you're really good at it. If you're into the NBA, they'll say like LeBron's going to have 23 points tonight, and you say, oh, my ass, he's going to have way more than that, higher. Or nope, he came down funny on his ankle the other day, and you use your knowledge, your acumen, and your skill, and you say he's going to have less. And that's the pick that you make. It's a lot of fun. You can win some money. And like I said, it just enhances the games for me. So download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code Glover to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. That's promo code Glover. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic reports the service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Heading home on westbound 70, Riverview out through Jennings Station. Slow. A couple of spots where it's a little busy past the airport. It backs up coming off the 270 ramps out through